Kentucky, Steve.
Ooh, yeah, it was. Travis Kelce, he came and he hit on his first bet.
Right. Kelce was here. Pacheco was here. Mahomes was here a year ago or something. Remember, he did something. He got the riders on their horses or something.
But riders up, baby.
Yeah, he was down in Miami at the Grand Prix, the Miami Grand Prix. Him and Brittany were down there doing the F1 racing.
Well, look, I'm gonna have to say that's an L for Mahomes. He owns
it. He owns the Alpine racing. However,
it doesn't matter. You shut down whatever you're doing for the Kentucky Derby, baby.
True. Kelce's like a half owner in that too, but he was at the Derby, man. Look how suave he was looking.
Look at him.
He was in there rolling up, looking like a gangster. Everybody was like, "Oh, Taylor Swift's here." No, she wasn't. He came. He rode solo today, and then Pop was there too. Look at Pops. He's got WHAS 11, WOKY, WDRB. It's funny watching all of our news that we grew up watching.
The local channels,
and our local channels actually have our mics in the face of the Chiefs players now. How crazy is that? I thought it was pretty sick, man.
Let's get it. Yeah, man. Well, rookie camp kicked off. Mini camp.
A little rookie mini camp.
There's so many different camps. It's hard to keep up with. Why are there so many camps?
Well, you do the rookie mini camps, and you got some OTAs, and then you get to not voluntary OTAs. You get mandatory OTAs, and then they start camp, and it's a lot, dude. Football it doesn't end. Like, they have turned this into a year-round spectacle. It's just one thing after another, but I mean, to be honest, it keeps our jobs. I mean, it keeps us on our toes, right? Like, we don't have time to rest. Because as soon as the draft's done, you're right back in it, but
it never ends.
It never ends. I guess it makes it less boring, but it gives you a lot of work. Check this out.
What we got?
Kelce walking in slow-mo. The Kentucky State Police escorted him in today, and they released that on their thing, on their Twitter.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, like he was just rolling in, looking suave. Look at him.
They should have put like a filter on it to make it look like it was from like 1950.
That'd be pretty sick. He was also out there schmoozing up on the infield. Look, he's in there. That's Greenberg, the mayor of Louisville. He's schmoozing it up with right now. Him and his wife.
What a dork! Look at that little dork.
Look at him. I don't even know how he got elected straight up, but Kelce must be a big fan. Kelce's a big fan.
Kelce has no idea who he is.
Yeah, he has no idea who this dude is. He's like, my God, he's getting swarmed here. It's like he's a celebrity or something. Do people really know who Travis Kelce is? I mean, I guess Taylor Swift got him on the map. So
he didn't even take her to the Derby. He said, "I'm riding solo, baby."
He said, "Look, stay home."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm already gonna get swamped, bro. Like, I can't have this." It was wild today, dude. Did anybody hit the Derby? Let us know if anybody picked the winner. My girlfriend picked the winner. She picked Mystic Dan. Look at that.
She did. She nailed it. And you know what's funny is you texted that to me right before I placed my bets, and I was like, I should probably pick Mystic Dan, but I didn't. I messed up.
I picked Sierra Leone. I said it was going to catch it at the end, and lost by a nose to Mystic Dan. So at least we won. You know,
is that
we got to try to win it.
Is that what happened to Dan Sorensen? He went from being Dirty Dan to he retired, and now he's a horse.
Yeah.
Old Mystic Dan. Hey, the Spoken in the house.
What's up,
if y'all didn't catch Trevor. Mike on there, Mike was on there today with Lance and Trevor.
I was, man.
This morning. So if y'all didn't get to catch that, go watch that after this. And also, if you have not subscribed to their channel, do that. They're trying to build up their YouTube a little bit. So take a minute and go over to the Spoken and subscribe to them. Help them guys out.
Dude, we had some good conversation. We talked a little bit about the draft. We talked a little bit about the wide receiver room. We talked a little bit about the defense, how we think that they're naturally going to take a regression this year, but it's not going to be drastic. And then, we just basically talked about how Veach, how it's just in Veach we trust, and you better not say nothing against it, Steve.
I got to catch a little bit of it, and it was a good conversation. So, yeah, it's something you guys need to check out. But, yeah, so how did Rookie Minicamp go today? How did it go?
Well, look, Xavier Worthy, apparently, so he drops a ball at minicamp. This is the news. Okay, yeah, this was the biggest news today. It overtook X all day long. People were tweeting it, talking about how the Bills fleeced the Chiefs because he has dropped a ball. I think I've got the actual clip here. He's running his route. He's got a coach that just fires a ball in here, and he just
game over.
Yeah, and
he's never going to be good now.
He was done. He was over. By the way, he catches like everything else. I think that was the only drop of the day that we had to focus on. But yeah, like this is all about running the route. But of course, Chiefs Kingdom's got PTSD from drops, right?
They do anything that looks like a drop or could possibly be a drop or is a drop, they're gonna melt down, bro.
But
but everybody
he
needs
runs
to chill.
other routes. Here he is looking good, man. Look at that smooth little cut and go. Like, dude, he's so fast and smooth on that. Like, that is one thing about Xavier Worthy. He does know how to run routes very smoothly, and he doesn't lose a lot of speed in his cuts. Did you see that? Like, to be a 4-2 guy, he's getting up on the DB and he's getting out. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to make that DB work.
Well, after the draft and after he was a Chief, I went back and watched more of his tape, Mike. I dug in a little further than I had just in the first evaluations. I still think he was a second round. But I thought it was definitely like early second round, possibly late first round, and definitely first round if you were going off of the hype. So if it wasn't the Chiefs that took him, somebody was probably still going to snag that kid.
Yeah, we had said it was second round, and just to get it completely fair, I don't want to say something that was wrong, but if you look at our big board, our top 100, he was rated 35. So we said he should be. There's 32 picks in the first round. So he was borderline 35, 32, and the Chiefs come up to 28. So in our opinion, they only reached on him 7 picks. And if that's your thing, man, that's your guy. And Andy Reid thinks it's his guy.
Well, if you did, you had to take him. I mean, first of all, I don't think they were trading up unless they had a hunch somebody was going to get him. They had to have. And then I saw an interview with Brandon Beane on Pat McAfee where he was talking about it. Did you see that?
No. What did Bean say?
Basically, he acted like the trade with the Chiefs wasn't a big deal. Like, people were making a big deal out of it. Like, hey, you traded with the Chiefs, who notoriously beat you in the playoffs.
I think the fans and everybody blows that out of proportion, right?
Right. And he's like, and you're trying to help the Chiefs get better. People are just mind blown. And he was like, well, first of all, when you make a trade with a team, you don't know who they're taking. They're not calling you and telling you, hey, I'm coming up to get Xavier
they're not going to
Worthy.
be like, hey, this is Xavier Worthy. Let us come up.
Right. He's like, so, A, I don't know who. But he's like, second of all, he's like, first of all, they called me and we thought we had a trade in mind. But then they called and said they didn't want to do it. So apparently KC backed out. But then they called him back again. And he said he took it because they needed to. Yeah, basically he said they needed to get more draft capital because Buffalo had a lot of holes to fill. So it wasn't about who was trying to trade him. It was how he could get the most draft capital.
They didn't care that the Chiefs were coming up and taking a specific player. They honestly didn't care. Like, their whole goal was to get out of the first and to get that draft capital back. And then they took a guy they really liked, Keon Coleman. I've seen interviews with him, and they love him. They think he's funny. Yeah. They think he's smart. He can play. And I think Keon Coleman's going to be good in this league, too. I absolutely believe that. Putting him with Josh Allen is a good spot for Keon Coleman. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong now that everybody was thinking he wasn't a first-round pick, right?
Buffalo went and made a lot of moves. They went and picked up Chase Claypool, too. Which I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think that's anything.
He said he's a top 3 receiver in football.
He's wild, bro. Like, how crazy can you be? I applaud the confidence, but good Lord.
Dude, I thought with him being that delusional, like, Cincinnati should have made a play at him. I was thinking he was a Bengal. Steve,
he would fit right in.
Back to Xavier Worthy, though. I got a little interview of Xavier Worthy talk to the media today. Let's watch this for a second.
I weighed in at 169, but I don't think I took because I delivered them. But no, I feel like it's not going to be a problem. I feel like just understanding your strengths and your weaknesses, I feel like that's the big thing in the league. Don't obviously try to go hit a 215-pound linebacker. So just understanding your weight, understanding your strengths, like I said. And D-Jack was obviously, he came in the league 169 and understood his strengths. So just using your strengths to your strength.
Brett Beach mentioned to us on the draft night, maybe go get some nutritionist or whatever, maybe try to get a little bit of weight on you. Have they told you maybe what they want you to play at, or are you comfortable here?
No, I feel like I know I'm going to play at like around 175, 170 range, so I'll be fine.
So they were asking him about his weight. Is it a problem? He said he's going to play at 175. That's his range. That's what we said. Look, they got to get him to 175. He's not going to go at that 163 he ran at the combine. He even compared himself back to, Deshaun Jackson. That's his big comp. Well, I like the way Xavier Worthy's handled himself so far. Like, I've been very impressed with how he's come in and he said that he told his mom he wanted to play with the Chiefs. He said all season long that's the one he wanted to play for, and he got it. He already got the Chiefs tattoo on his arm. I think he's settled in. He even said he went to Q39 and it was fire this weekend.
He's all in, baby. That's
He's
all that
all
matters.
in. And look,
I mean,
that's what I told people too. They're like, you guys are coming around to this pick. And it's like, look, you like players and you don't like players. But with Xavier Worthy, look, he's a Chief now. I'm going to back him until he gives me a reason not to. Like, I'm going to support this kid like everybody.
Like, it's so, there's so much more to it than what you see at the surface. Like, here's the thing. Like, we watched a lot of tape on all the receivers in the draft, right? Mike, together, when we evaluated these and we talked about them, we had Xavier Worthy ahead of Xavier Legette. We thought that he was a better prospect in whole, especially with the production he was able to do for 3 years. We ranked him ahead of Xavier Legette. That being said, Xavier Legette was my guy. I just liked that kid. I'm not saying that he's better or anything like that. I just really liked him, and I wanted to see Legette in there, but mainly for two things. Just for a little bit different prototype wide receiver, which I knew was a long shot. But secondly, I just wanted to see him have a conversation with Patrick Mahomes, because that would be the most glorious thing I've ever heard. Can you imagine those two going back and forth? But either way, so yeah, of course I was a little disappointed because I was like, man, I think they might take Legette here, because I thought that like Buffalo was after Legette, and I thought there was a couple of teams that could be after Legette at the end of the first round, knowing that the Panthers were going to take him at 33 regardless. So I was like, well, they're trading up. They might be trying to snag him. So I got a little excited, and then it wasn't him, so I was a little bummed out. That doesn't mean that I don't like the Xavier Worthy pick.
Dude, how wild is it? Like, looking back at the rankings, here, we had Ricky Pearsall Jr. at 34, Xavier Worthy at 35, and Legette at 37. So we had them all like borderline first-round talents, and those were the last three receivers taken in the first round. Of course, the Chiefs jumped the 49ers. Okay. But dude, we had him right there bunched. And a lot of people said, Ricky Pearsall's not getting in the first round. Xavier Worthy's going to go top 20. Somebody's going to fall in love with that speed. I even see some Chiefs people being like, are we the team that's going to be the idiots that fall in love with the speed? Yeah, but I think where they got him was fine with me. In my opinion,
like I said, like even after we always said he was second round.
Trading up into the top 20 would have been a disaster.
Right. We always said he was second round, Mike, but we thought he was early second round. So I'm okay with the end of the first round, whether it's pick 28 or 32 or whatever it might be. And I think he does fit our offense, and I think it's going to be a good fit. So he always compares himself to Deshaun Jackson, Mike. I noticed that. Do you think that's because the other guys that fit that prototype didn't pan out too well? You don't want to be like, well, I'm like John Ross because John Ross sucked.
Right.
You don't want to be like, I'm like so-and-so. But, I've never heard him compare himself to Marquise Brown, and I do think that there's a pretty good comparison there.
Yeah, look, Andy put it on him. Andy said he reminds him of Deshaun Jackson. He's rolling with it. That's what everybody comped him to. Look, you had two guys to comp him to. It was John Ross and Deshaun Jackson. So look, one's his floor, one's his ceiling, and let's just hope he ends up somewhere in the middle. I think if he ends up somewhere in the middle, we gotta steal. Like, he don't have to be Deshaun Jackson, but he definitely can't be John Ross. I don't think he can be John Ross. Like, you got to be better than John Ross. Well, and I don't think you'll have a problem with that.
I don't either.
I think if John Ross would have, I talked to Lance about this today. If John Ross would have been drafted by Andy Reid and the Chiefs and played with Patrick Mahomes,
it could have been a whole different thing.
Right.
It could have been a whole different thing.
But maybe injuries, maybe that still would have been a thing. But
Mike, and that goes both ways. There's a lot of receivers that had really good careers. If they were drafted somewhere else, they would have sucked.
100%.
It's all about your, like, the position you end up in. It's about, the team you get drafted to, the surroundings you have. There's so much that goes into a draft pick being a hit or a bust. There really is. And I think that a lot of people look too far into like the college tape or this or that and speculating and measurements and things like that. It's like sometimes it's just the fit, it's the situation. And I think that there's not a better situation or a better marriage in the draft than the Chiefs and Xavier Worthy. And I think I think that's true. And I think that everybody knows that's true. Like, what was the common sentiment all after the combine was the Chiefs have to get this kid. But then it turned into they cannot let the Chiefs have Xavier Worthy.
Right.
They can't let the Chiefs, the best
bro.
Well, they can't let the Chiefs, the best team in the league, have the fastest guy in the draft. They can't do that.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like, to me, I feel like it's a very good fit. And I think they went back to that after the Chiefs drafted it. Even Schrager was just like, how did the NFL let the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy? So I don't know. It's just a good marriage.
Yeah, so I have clips of him taking punts, but now that I heard that it has audio and they're playing music in the background, I'm not even going to play it because YouTube will demonetize us like that. So that clip's gone.
Well,
so,
what about this, my man? We got a
Sam with a 5-bomb. Appreciate you, brother.
We got a 5-bomb from Sam Lofton. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, let's go, Sam. Appreciate
Hope you're
you,
doing
bro.
good, man. He also hit it again, my man, with a 2. We appreciate you.
Let's go.
Man, so, yeah, I want to know more about rookie camp. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Sam Lofton getting us kicked off here. We appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, let's go. Steve, K-State wide receiver that they brought in, Phillip Brooks, K-State. He come in during the Chiefs local pro day. He
Okay.
actually looked pretty good today, man.
I don't know anything about this guy. I'm not going to lie.
He was a little punt return guy that played at K-State, but he was doing a lot of receiver drills, looked really good out there, man. He had a solid day. Like, he was one of the most solid wide receivers on the field today. I think he did a lot for himself. He done well. And then also, of course, Jared Wiley looked good today, too. Jared Wiley's going to be good in this offense. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, the more I
Yeah.
said, I went back and watched more tape of the guys after we drafted them. Jared Wiley's one I got a lot more excited about. Like Xavier Worthy, he still fell into that same category. Like, I think he was an early second round receiver. And I think his opportunity to be special. But Jared Wiley, dude, that guy's a monster. So
Yeah,
like,
he's gonna-
they
I
kind of
think he's
flipped
gonna
the
be
script
good.
on me with that, dude. I think that was a good pick. I think it's low key. Like,
Well-
it was kind of sneaky, right?
Yeah, we talked with Lance today, and when I was talking with Lance, we talked about that, and it felt like that pick come out of just left field.
It did.
But we were talking about how the Chiefs and Brett Veach probably done a really good job at disguising that, because they looked at almost every tight end. They met with Jatavion Sanders. They met with
Ben Sinnott.
They met with Eric All. They met with Theo Johnson. This was the only cat they didn't meet with, and they were completely trying to keep this off the radar of the league.
Right,
Because
and-
every person they looked at, somebody overdrafted them.
Yeah, and then there was like a group of guys that had fallen right before Jared Wiley. So you're like, dude, are the Chiefs going to be able to pull off TJ Tampa in the 4th round?
Right.
Are they going to be able? Who was the other guy that went right before Tampa? There were
Dude,
two
I
guys
don't
that
remember,
had
but there
fallen.
was a couple right there. Yeah,
And you were like, are they going to be able to get this much value this freaking late? And then they went bam, bam, right before the Chiefs. And then out of the left field, seemingly, they took Jared Wiley. So it was kind of like
this leads me to believe, though, man,
confusing, right?
that Jared Wiley has been the tight end they've been looking for. Brett Veach said that. They've been passing on tight ends that we thought they should have taken last year and the year before. And
Right.
Brett Veach says this guy was one they've been trying. Like, his prototype is what they've been looking for.
I'll
So if
take it.
TJ Tampa had been on the board, I think they still took Jared Wiley. And we'd have been saying,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm right there with you. And it's okay. I'm good with it. Like I said, I watched more tape on these guys. And honestly, out of the entire draft, like, he's the one that I came up more on than anybody in the whole draft.
right.
Like, by just because obviously when we're like trying to evaluate all the different tight ends in the draft, Mike, there's a lot. That's a daunting task
Boy,
when you're
it
looking
is.
at 300 players you got to evaluate, you got to watch tape on. So, like, when I watched Jared Wiley's tape, nothing seemed special to me. I didn't look at it and be like, man, this guy's going to be a monster. I didn't think twice about it. But then when you go back and really look at it and really dig in and see what the things that this guy can do, and then you think about him being in the Chiefs offense.
Yes.
That's where the light bulb really goes off.
Yeah. Dude, and then the fact that he's been a high school quarterback, and just flat out crushed it too, by the way. Like, I was telling Lance today, like, a lot of people don't know he played tight end and quarterback in high school. When he was in high school, the dude had over 2,800 yards his senior year and like 27 touchdowns. He had 4 games where he had 4 touchdown passes or more. So he
Right.
was a good athlete. And his team, the Temple High School there in Texas, dude, it's Texas high school football. That's
Right.
religion down there. You've got
Yeah.
to be good.
It's a
And this
different world.
kid has already been recruited to the University of Texas to play tight end, and they needed a QB. So he's like, I'll play QB. And he leads them to an offense that averages 40.5 points a season. I'm getting ready to make a short about this. And I can't wait till you guys be able to watch that short, because Jared Wiley I think he's going to be a fan favorite, kind of like Jody Fortson was. And I told you, I think Jody Fortson, he reminds me of that. But
Have you noticed that the Chiefs tend to fall in love with tight ends, though? I think did it all start? I don't know. You think Tony G was where that come
I think
in?
Tony G was the first tight end everybody just
Because
flat
then,
out
like,
loved.
even tight ends that didn't necessarily perform well, like people loved them, like McGrath,
Sean
the
McGrath.
beard. Everybody loved the beard. And then of course Kelce, and then they liked Jody Fortson. I think he's going to be a fan favorite too. I kind of agree, but I really do like the pick. And like I said, I came up higher on Wiley post draft than any other pick.
Right. So got a little footage of some of the big guys out here, baby. We got Kingsley Sumatai in the back. You see him? We got CJ Hansen back there.
Kingsley
we got
looks good in red, baby.
Dude, yeah, baby. He's looking like a monster. Hunter Norzad's back there. CJ, no, that number 70 out there. I don't know who that was. Hansen's 61 right here in the background, so I'm not for sure. But yeah, we just got a little things. There's some Wiley footage, just a little bit here and there. It wasn't like, I don't think it was open to the public or anything. You got what, the media was allowed to have. But Hunter Norzad actually took to the mic, and I clipped this interview for everybody to watch. And dude, like the way he explains arriving to Arrowhead is just special. And this is why these kids just love playing here. Here we go.
It's pretty surreal. I mean, you try to prepare yourself as best as possible, during the process, but you really have no idea where you're going to go. But once once the bus rolled up the road and we saw the stadium and the facility, it's really breathtaking. It's really an incredible experience that I feel truly blessed to be able to experience, but it's unbelievable.
I think Brett Veach, what he does is, me and Lance talked about this a little bit today. Late in the draft, he takes very high IQ football players. Hunter Norzad is that. Like, that kid is very highly recruited. When he was going to Penn State, they were trying to recruit him into, like, the robotics department. This dude is very, very smart. He even went to an Ivy League college before he transferred over to, I think he went to West Virginia, then he went to Penn State. CJ Hansen, very smart kid. Kamal Haddon, very, very smart football IQ kind of guy. And these are guys that maybe are getting overlooked. They fall in the process, and then somebody like the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Brett Veach come in, and they make these guys feel like they're 10 foot tall, and they show them all the championship and the legacy that we're building here. And these kids come in, and they just fall in love with this place, and they give their all from day one. Exactly what Xavier Worthy did. And like I said, that's one dude that I think he's going to want to play very well for the Chiefs. Like all these guys do. I think what they've been here, and they've not even really got to experience the fans yet. They haven't got to experience the training camp when the fans show up in droves for practices, man. Like
that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like the Chiefs always had, the fandom and like the aura of Arrowhead and all that these players could fall in love with. But one thing Andy Reid did that just put him head and shoulders above the guys before him was he brought a culture that literally, it's just a winning culture, something that these guys accept. It's a players first kind of thing. They love him. And I think the rookies pick up on that early. They like the way it feels in the locker room. They like the way the relationships feel with their new teammates, with their coaches. It's just very welcoming, and I think it's something that they want to play for.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. They'll have one more day tomorrow. This wraps up, and then in a few weeks or maybe even next week, I don't know. The timeline, it goes so fast, so furious, dude.
Right.
They'll just be in there like going at it. But the Chiefs did say today, man, and this is another thing. The Chiefs rescinded their tender to Cole Christensen, linebacker. So does that mean that they think that Curtis Jacobs has a very good shot at making this team as UDFA?
I really like him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out K Wayne. I had to give him clearance to come through Kentucky today. He was coming up I-65, and I was like, K Wayne, why are you in Louisville and you're not at the Derby? He was like,
right.
But I said, it's okay. Thou shalt pass.
The next time you roll through Louisville, man, hit us up.
Yeah,
we'll pull over. We'll pull over somewhere and have some food or something.
I almost messaged him back, but we're like off the beaten path a little bit. We're not on 65, so he'd have to go out of the way. But I almost asked him if he wanted to go get some sushi. We went and ate some sushi and some hibachi for Mike's birthday dinner.
We did. That's what we decided to roll with. We took the family. The girls didn't get to go though, so missed them. But we got to see Maddie. Yep. She's getting older. As Maddie gets older, my oldest niece, I guess, Like I realize I don't see her as much.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah, it was a good time, man.
She's already hit that stage where dad's not cool anymore. No one's cool.
Oh yeah, nobody's cool, man.
Yeah, it's all right though. But appreciate you guys being here on Saturday night, hanging out with us, talking some Chiefs. If you haven't hit the like button yet, do us a favor and go hit the like button. It just takes a second, helps us out, helps us get to some more people. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're a Chiefs fan, I don't know what you're waiting for. We do tons and tons of Chiefs content, short form, long form, live streams, you name it. You're going to get it from here. So hit that subscribe button. Yeah, Mike, I'm excited to see what the rookies can do. Rookie minicamp's always fun because it's the first time you get to see the rookies put their helmets on. It's the first time you get to see them in the Chiefs attire. It's like an exciting thing. But it doesn't, it doesn't mean much, right? It's just getting the ball rolling.
Right.
But I'm still excited. Like, to me, it's like that is when, like, this season starts. Like, obviously, like, I was thinking about that earlier. I feel like after the Super Bowl's over, it's like, I feel like the draft almost rolls into that prior season. It's almost like, to me, like, after the draft,
Right.
you know who you're drafting, everything else, and then
Right.
it's like, boom, now let's get to work.
And then
that feels like the beginning.
They come in and then you get to see them for the first time, and it's like
Yeah.
now you start building your roster up. I totally get it. I'm curious to see who comes out of this little rookie, mini camp, like above. You know what I mean? Like, is Phillip Brooks gonna like set himself apart? Does Xavier Worthy's not going anywhere? It's not like you're cutting him or anything, but like, is he gonna do enough this weekend to make Veach and company feel like, hey, that's the guy we drafted, baby? Like, I feel good. Is Jared Wiley gonna do it? I believe Jaden Hicks is gonna look good. I believe Norzad and CJ Hansen is gonna look fine. I think this is gonna be a very good rookie class. I really do.
I think it's going to prove to be one of a really good one. Yeah,
I think it does. And I mean, I wouldn't have handed out the A so lightly. I really wouldn't have, because there was reasons to dog the class. A lot of people did dog the class. They didn't like it.
Well, I mean, you got to think. The funny thing is, Mike, it's like I wasn't like keen to the Xavier Worthy pick. Like, I would rather had Leggett, right? And then the Wiley pick confused the heck out of me, because I was like, man, all these guys falling down the board, and we take a tight end that we haven't visited. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, there was a couple reasons why someone would think that I wouldn't want to give it an A. But when you take it and look at it as a whole, whether it's the players that I liked or not, I still think it was really good picks. Like, I think it's a good draft. And it's hard to say that you can look back and think it would be one of the best Brett Veach drafts, because he drafts so well. But I think it's going to be right there in the mix.
Yeah, I believe it, because I do believe he got a lot of good depth at offensive line this time. I think the thing me and Lance were talking about today that kind of felt weird is they didn't really address the running back, and they've not really addressed the running back much in the offseason, like up to this point, because you've not got McKinnon back. They signed back Clyde, which that's a little polarizing with Chiefs Kingdom. But me and you have talked about maybe Clyde maybe now going to that RB3 Jerick McKinnon role. I mean, that's what he did out of college, was catch the ball. He's got to get better at pass pro, but I think Clyde can do that, and he's likable. There's just a lot of things to like there. So we kind of talked about the running back room. Is it going to be Prince? Does P-Ron get the shot?
Right.
Is Amani Bailey, Carson Steele, any of these guys going to come in and do it? And I kind of told him I think Prince will get his fair shot this year. I believe him being here for a year, Prince will get some preseason carries this time. We're going to see what we got with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a couple different options with the running back, and they could still be looking in at guys that get cut. They could still be looking at trades, a lot of different things. So do I think they're done with the running back room? Possibly
we
not.
brought up the trade. I brought up the trade today, and I was like, me and Steve kind of thought it would be fun to go out and grab Alvin Kamara here. We got the money. Make him that Jerick McKinnon road, extend that career. And Lance and Trevor both were like, hey, that's a good idea. I was like, hey.
It would be nasty, dude.
Me and Steve got some nasty ideas every once in a while, and we got the money to pay him now.
Yeah. Wolfpack66 says, what do you guys think about a few Chiefs podcasters talking about not having a tall, big receiver that can challenge the jump ball? So I guess what I have to say about it, Mike, is we never do. That's just not what we do. And we actually do have a guy that can play that part. His name's Rashee Rice. When he was drafted, like, that was what he was really known as. If you watched his college tape and stuff, it's like this guy likes to rely on the jump ball too much. Like, he relies on his physical attributes, his vertical. Like, sometimes he settles for jump ball. So, I mean, we have a guy that can do it, but that's just not how Andy Reid's offense runs. It's not how Patrick Mahomes is as a quarterback. He don't throw a lot of those balls. So I think, like, If you think about how the offense runs and how Patrick Mahomes plays the quarterback position, Mike, what's way more valuable? Guys that can get out here, get open, catch a pass, get yak?
Yeah.
Or guys that are going to catch a jump ball? I mean, it's pretty obvious, right?
It's yak, and it's guys that have good ability to get back to the quarterback when the play's blown up.
Correct.
Because Pat likes to get out. He likes to go left, right. You know, he's always looking to move, get out of the pocket. You've got to be good at getting back. And look, these guys like Hollywood Brown, these guys like Xavier Worthy, the reason they will flourish in an Andy Reid offense and the reason he's looking for these guys is because they can cut on a dime. They don't lose a lot of speed during their cuts and their breaks and things. And so they're always quicker and faster back to the ball over corners and linebackers and safeties. When you start getting these big, tall receivers, they don't typically move that smoothly, and they don't typically get back to the pass as much. And again, Mahomes doesn't throw a lot of jump ball 50-50 things. But I will say this, we use our tight ends to do that a lot. And I think Wiley could be that guy now. Like that, because that's what Jody Fortson did. Like Mahomes would throw it up to Jody Fortson a few times here and there.
Right.
So
Well,
I do think that's a thing.
Something to think about with the Wiley situation is we're big Noah Gray guys here. Like, I feel like Noah Gray doesn't get as much credit as he should, because I think if Noah Gray had a bigger role in the offense, that he would surprise some people. I really do think Noah Gray's good.
I think Noah Gray's going to get a bigger chunk this year. I really do.
But in that same breath, watching Wiley's tape, I think that Wiley might be able to jump Noah Gray.
Well, this is what I think is going to happen.
It's a possibility, and I really like Noah Gray.
Right. Kelce's got 2 years.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out this year if Noah Gray's your future, right? Because you can still have Noah Gray and Jared Wiley. I mean, come on, anybody would like that. So when Kelce's gone, are you going to have that, or are you going to let Noah Gray walk and is Jared Wiley just going to step into tight end 2 next year and then tight end 1 the year after? So you're going to got that. And in the meantime, I think Noah Gray and I think Kelce gets their same-o, and I think Wiley's going to take over that Jody Fortson role. He's going to be in there in the red zone. He's going to help the red zone because our red zone kind of looked like trash last year.
Right. Speaking of, Julia says, so why was the red zone efficiency such a problem? So the problem, I'll tell you exactly why. And Mike, you can disagree with me or not. You just let me know. But play calling was trash in the red zone.
A lot of play calling, man. And he gets a little stale sometimes. He gets a little predictable.
It's not even that he gets stale. It's like he gets too cute. It's the opposite of stale.
Well, that's true. That's true.
That's the thing. It's like when we get in the red zone, there were so many times last year where we were like less than 10 yards in goal. Say it was like 8, first and goal from the 8-yard line, right? Yeah. Just give the ball to Pacheco 3 times and you're going to score a touchdown. Everyone knows that. It's simple.
Right.
It's
or
a simple
run run the easy routes, but they'll do like.
That's the thing about it.
What are they doing?
The other team could know that you're going to run the ball with Pacheco 3 times and they still can't stop him for 8 yards.
But what do? 9 times out of 10, they run that same Kelce, like, delayed screen up the middle, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
the shovel pass,
shovel pass.
Or a jet sweep, or some kind of like halfback pass, or something crazy. They never just do what they need to.
Like, they get a little cute. They really do.
It's play calling, Julia. I'll tell you right now, that was the biggest problem. And I think there was some decent play calling this year. Matt Nagy got a lot of a bad rap early on, but let's be honest here. Nagy, Bieniemy, it doesn't matter who's helping call plays. Andy will tell you every time that they call the plays. But Andy has the last say in the plays, and he influences the plays. The players influence the plays. Yeah.
For a full season of Nagy actually running plays this year, presumably, because Andy's got a big influence, I did prefer the way the offense looked with Bieniemy over this one, the way it looked last year. And I don't know if that has anything to do with Bieniemy and Nagy, or it's just as a whole, we didn't have the players this year because the receivers stunk. Like, let's be honest. But they did get better on 4th down efficiency.
At the same time,
that got a little better, right?
At the same time, Mike, was there much of a difference?
No, there was and there wasn't. It still felt like they were weird on 3rd and short, 4th and short. Still felt like a struggle at times. They still got too cute in the red zone. There was many of things that I don't know
that were common. That's the thing; they were almost the same. Like, it wasn't much difference. So I mean, you have to understand it's Andy Reid's offense, and when it really comes down to it, it's all about Big Red, baby. But I think everything and that's another thing. Matt Nagy was getting back in the saddle of being an offensive play caller, as opposed to last year. The year before that, he was just a quarterback coach. And then he had just come off of the terrible decision to go try to help the Bears because
Right.
that was just a lose situation for him.
Yep. Super Devil Juice in the house. He says no power rushing, baby. That's why.
Super Devil Juice.
Agree. Dude, I wouldn't be mad if Carson Steele makes this roster and they turn him
I'm
into
okay
Sausage
with
Part
that.
2. If
Yeah,
we
I
can
saw-
get
I
back
saw
to
Kay
some
Wayne
power
call him
rushing,
the new
I would
sausage.
love it.
Yeah, I like it too. And plus, there was always like Andy, the way he uses the fullback too, he utilizes them in the pass game as well. Sausage used to catch passes and everything.
100%. Carson Steele can catch out of the backfield too.
Yeah.
What's up, KB? He says, what's good, Texas fan here.
What's up, my man?
Thanks for watching, brother. We don't care. As long as you're
Daggone,
respectful,
dude.
we don't care. Come on in.
The Texans went off in the
Texans are loading
offseason.
up, baby.
They are going balls to the wall. It's like they're like, we're gonna win this thing. We're gonna get in and get competitive now.
I think
Like,
you have
they're-
to. You've got that
It's smart,
quarterback that
right?
proven he can do it. Now you've got that cheap
Right.
QB for
Right.
4 years. So go
Well,
get it.
Love it, and I love the way that team's going. Honestly, what's his name? The new coach.
The linebacker.
Come on, baby,
The ex-linebacker. I don't remember his name either. I don't know why I can't think.
Ryan.
D'Amico Ryans. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I just like what he's doing with that team. And then, like you said, they have a good young quarterback. So why not do it now while he's cheap?
You have
Load
to.
the team up. And the thing about it is the big D'Amico Ryans. I appreciate you, KB. I don't know why that was slipping my mind. But
We don't tend to talk about the Texans too often.
but I could see him in my head. Like I seen his face.
You know what's funny?
What?
Pops always told me that that if the Chiefs didn't exist, he would probably be like a Texans would be at the top of his list.
Because it's like, well, I mean, was
Dallas,
that not what the Chiefs
Texans.
were? Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I don't know if that's the reason, but he always said that the Texans would probably be at the top of his list. And me and Pops also said that if the Chiefs never existed and you had to pick a team, for some reason we were very, and it must be a glutton for punishment, right? But I always feel like I would gravitate towards like a roughneck team like the Chicago Bears, like the 80s.
Absolutely not, bro.
No, I think I would like the Bears. I think I would be torturous for the last 30 years, but I mean that's what I'm used to with the Chiefs until Mahomes was drafted. Maybe Caleb Williams turns it around for him, right?
Thinking about a world where the Chiefs don't exist is a very sad place. So let's just not go
horrible.
there.
It's horrible.
No, but like I was saying with Houston, by the way, I think it's a very pivotal year for them because you're going to see now they've got a year of tape on C.J. Stroud. They know that the kid's capable. They know what he can do.
Yeah.
Defenses are going to start looking a little different. They're going to start trying to confuse him more. So if he can keep that level of play this year in his second season, then they have a pretty bright future going forward.
Steve,
I
I
think.
reached out to Logan Paul. I said, bro, I drink Prime all the time. He sends me a mini Prime. Do you see it? Miniature. Thanks,
Why is
Logan.
it so tiny?
Appreciate you, brother. I don't know. We got to get the sponsorship going. I mean, I don't know why we don't get sponsored. He sponsors Mahomes. We're Mahomes' like best friends.
Well, we'll work on that this
Like
week.
I would fight somebody for Patrick Mahomes. If I was in public and
Would
somebody
you?
was picking on Patrick Mahomes, I would fight them for Patrick. I would go to prison for Patrick Mahomes.
Who's gonna
That's what
pick
he
on it?
means to me.
Who in their right mind is going to pick on an NFL player?
Believe me, a drunken Bengal fan would take a shot. Dude, I'd lay him out for Pat. I'd go to jail. Put me in jail.
Pat,
baby.
we don't want you to get in trouble. We don't want you to pull a rice.
No,
We don't
I'll
want
take
you
the 8-game suspension from Goodell. Okay,
We got you.
Steve. Look, we always talk about when we're right, we toot our horns. We
Toot,
just
toot,
want
baby.
a little bit of respect. Like
Toot,
we're the
toot.
new guys on the block, and we feel like we don't ever get a lot of respect, right? People's always.
That's
Cut
me
me off
tooting
and
our.
let's talk about this.
That's me tooting
Oh.
our own horns, baby.
I thought somebody gifted something. Okay. Yeah, but we'll do that. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like we're in a crowded field. We're not the biggest channel. We've not been around the longest. You know, like you're down the totem pole a little bit. Presumably that's just the way it works. But we're like, hey, we get stuff right. But every now and then we're wrong. And when I say every now and then, the majority of the time we're probably wrong. So we come up with a thing about 10 things that we were wrong about during the draft.
Because it's just funny to look at, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to call it out because we shouldn't just call out everything we get right. Let's call out the things we get wrong too, because why
Well,
that
before
makes
we
us
do
better.
that, before we
Let's
do
have
that-
some freaking integrity.
Before we do that,
What are you rethinking this? You don't want
no,
to do it?
no. I'm all for it. But before we do that, I think we should hit the positive. You know, our last collaborative Chiefs predictions, we hit 3 of the Chiefs draft picks, Mike.
We did.
That's pretty good.
But I think everybody that watches us knows.
I think that was good. So
Yeah.
pat on the back. Now let's talk about what we got wrong.
Okay, let's talk about the first thing we got wrong. Number one thing I want to talk about that we got wrong, as we said, and this is still a little bit of a like remains to be seen, for example, but we said that we did not think Xavier Worthy would be a round 1 pick. We thought he would fall out of round 1. Although at one time we did say that somebody will overdraft his speed, but we still felt like he's not a round 1 pick. And I still believe that. I still think he's 35, 36.
Right. So we predicted the Chiefs would take him with their first pick.
But we moved back.
In that situation, we moved back like 2 or 3 picks, and he was there, so we took him.
Right.
So a little different, but yeah. Okay.
So I will say that we didn't think Worthy was worth a round 1 pick, and Brett Veach did, and I will admit that. So does it remain to be seen? Because a lot of people said, Sky Moore wasn't worth a round 2. Okay, so if we would have said Sky Moore was a 7th round pick, people would be believing us over Veach.
Right.
Isn't it crazy though with Sky Moore? Just 1 second with Sky Moore. Does it feel like they're not ready to give up on Sky Moore because they didn't trade up for Sky Moore? They actually traded back, so they actually gained some assets to get Sky Moore. Does that give you a little more leeway?
No, but I think the kid's in his 3rd year coming out of a small school.
Steve, don't be an apologist. People's going to say that to you.
I'm not being an apologist, but I think what I was getting ready to say before you rudely cut me off was I think this is the year. Like, this is the year. If Sky Moore don't do nothing this year, then bye-bye. Or at least go to the bench and rot,
Oh, my God. You pulled out the old NSYNC. You said, bye, bye, bye. Okay, look, Xavier Worthy's a round 1 pick. We said it wasn't going to happen. We thought potentially he was falling out of the first, and we got it wrong. That's our first one. Number 2 that I want to admit to, I did not think, after watching all the tight ends, and again, I did Jared Wiley early, and I did Xavier Worthy early.
Yeah, dude, we both undervalued Wiley.
But we undervalued Wiley. He was not in my top 5. Wiley was officially number 7 on my board.
Why do you think I looked like the Chick-fil-A girl when they drafted him, Mike? I was like...
Yeah, okay, look, I get it. So I want to say this. Wiley, we said that Wiley was not going to be a top 5 tight end drafted. And I don't know where he was drafted. I don't know which number he was selected. But I feel like I undervalued Wiley for what he deserves to be valued at. And I feel like I did it a little bit because people were so focused on the big 3 of Senate and stuff. And then we all got a little focused on Theo Johnson's combine numbers, baby. And Eric All showing some pop and the Chiefs talking to him in the top 30, right? And then Tanner McLaughlin out of Arizona. There's teams like the Bengals looking at him. He broke Gronk's single season reception record. So we let too many things get in the way. And I think we deserve to give Wiley a little more credit. So that's 2 things we missed on.
Agreed. And that's what I was saying earlier too.
Number 3. And before we get to number 3, Tin Bomb. Let's go.
Freaking Tin Bomb from Game of Player, baby.
Let's go.
What's up, my man? He says, Worthy will surprise DBs in this league. I'm catching flack from a lot of people. I live in Phoenix, so it's a mix of all teams and fans. It's kind of like that in Kentucky, so we feel you. Can we start the season early so I can shut them the hell up? So I'm ready for the football season.
Oh, yeah.
I think Worthy's going to be a good asset. And like I was saying earlier, Gamer Player, I think it's because of the situation he finds himself in.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good chance that Xavier Worthy could be John Ross if he were to go to the bad situation.
Yeah. If he had went to Kyler Murray or something, he very well
like if he would have went to the wrong situation, he could have been lost in the sauce. He could have never done nothing. He could have retired 4 years later. But being where he's at with the quarterback he's with and coach he's with,
yep.
I think he's going to be good. I do.
Yeah, appreciate you, Gamer Player, dude. Really do. That 10.
Yeah, y'all put some legendaries in the chat.
Means a lot. Goes a long way in growing the channel, man. Let's get back to it. Number 3, Fabian Levette. I had him rated as the number 2 nose tackle in all of football, and he went undrafted.
That's wild, ain't it?
I want to say that I missed right there.
But it makes me happy that the Chiefs got him as the UDFA, so we're like, look at the value here.
Completely excited about that. But the number 1 nose tackle, I had Tavondre Sweat, who didn't, right? Tavondre Sweat was the number 1 nose. But number 2, I actually thought Fabian Levette was the number 2 nose tackle. I really did. I thought he showed a lot of flash and promise. I thought he was mature. He's got a family. He's just he's an older prospect, but he felt like he got it. You know what I mean? Like, he just felt like he was a guy that would do it. And then number 3, I had Christian Boyd, and 4, I had McKinley Jackson. And McKinley Jackson ended up going number 2. And look, I didn't like McKinley Jackson's film. I thought the dude stayed on the ground too much. How are you going to be a nose tackle that plugs up gaps if you're on the ground? So I thought Fabian Levette was number 2 at 6'4", 313. I really did. He had tons of meetings with teams after, and he didn't do anything at the combine or anything, but I thought that he was going to get himself up there and be drafted probably round 4, round 5. And I missed that, Steve. And I want to take credit that I missed Fabian Levette. But as you did mention, the Chiefs grabbed him after as a UDFA, and I could not be more ecstatic. I think he's got a dark horse shot of making the team.
Yeah, for sure. He could definitely be like well, we talked about this, man. Like he could fill that role of Derek Nottie, Mike Pennell, all them guys. He's good enough to do that. And they're all on 1-year contracts. So, I mean, that guy has a good opportunity for real.
Yeah, Fabian Levette, I really like him. The 4th thing I was wrong about, and look, it feels what's the word? Therapeutic to just get this out, you know, because again, I do think we hit on a lot, but I don't want to be that channel that just says, "Hey, this is where I hit, and when I miss, I'm going to be completely quiet about it." No, we're going to be transparent here. Number 4, and I think a lot of people can fall into this category with me, so I don't feel alone here. I said Brendan Rice was going to be a round 3 to round 4 pick, not a round 7 pick.
Dude, anybody
Did
in the
anybody
right mind.
think Brendan Rice was going in round 7, bro? And I also said he would be drafted over Luke McCaffrey. That didn't happen. Luke McCaffrey went 2 full rounds before he did.
Luke McCaffrey got the top 100, baby. He was the 100th pick, I think.
Yeah, he was something right there. Like, he was like round 3, round 4.
He was pick 100, dude. I think, for real.
I missed that one. I missed it. In full transparency, going back to my big board, wide receiver, good night. I don't even want to say this. Brendan Rice was my number 20. Luke McCaffrey was 23. Okay, so I didn't miss by that much.
Here's the thing.
23-20, okay.
Like you said, I think a lot of people miss that one. And to be honest with you, I think like the Chargers, they don't do...
K-Wayne, shut the hell up. Hey, look, I just really love this hat, but yeah, I get it. I get it. But you know what? I'm proud of this. Like, I'm not really like
I
have
some snapbacks that are mesh. I wear them backwards sometimes. It's okay, Mike. You can do it.
just do it, you know. Sometimes
don't let K-Wayne
look, if I wear a
don't
forward
let
hat,
K-Wayne mess with your confidence.
if
okay?
I wear
You
a
rock
forward
that
hat though on here, and I will do it sometimes, it puts a shadow right here because of our lighting. And I just don't like it. So I guess I could wear another full. K-Wayne, daggone it. Now I'm self-conscious. I'm getting out of here. Maybe.
Mike's leaving.
Dude, okay. So that was number 4. So far, let's recap. Worthy
Which
not
a lot of people did
round 1. Wiley not a top 5. Levette was the number 2 nose tackle rated. And then Brendan Rice a round 3, round 4 pick. Okay, so moving on. Number 5. I said Troy Fautano was going to go top 10. He went 20.
Dude, that's wild. They got a steal, though.
I think I missed, but did I foresee somebody coming out and leaking that he had a bad knee all of a sudden, like a day before the draft? I mean, I got a little
That's
bit
the
of built-in
things we
excuse.
don't get, Mike. When we're evaluating players and we're coming up with our big boards, we don't get medicals. We don't get to know what their character is
by the end of the year, though,
you know,
can we look back at Fautano and be like, dude, I think Mike was right. He could be a top 10 pick. Like if you redrafted, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like, if you're
I'll
just
take the L on it though.
Mike, if you're just going off of what we do, which is the film, he was a top 10 pick. But we didn't know about the rest, okay? So I mean that's not a big deal.
Right. Number 6. And you agreed with me on this one. We said Nate Wiggins didn't deserve to be a first round pick and he wouldn't get picked, and he did.
Of course,
Nate Wiggins
Baltimore,
went in the top. Yeah.
Of course, Baltimore did this.
And I didn't feel like he was a Baltimore fit. I thought maybe the Eagles would have took the shot at him.
It wasn't, but he was fast, and they had talked about him, so Baltimore had to take him. They can't help themselves.
Right. So, I mean, we're missing left and right here. I had to just throw this out.
That's fine, but like I still don't think that. I still think he's a second-round draft pick. They reached on him.
Again, okay. Number 7. And if Chris Wright's in the house, he's going to like this one. I said Jordan Morgan wasn't going to be a first-round pick, and he was.
And he was.
The Packers took him.
The Packers, yep.
So the Packers made me look stupid.
That's okay. They make themselves look stupid a lot, too.
Jennifer,
you got a 5 bomb from Jennifer. Appreciate
Let's
you,
go.
Jennifer. Good to see you.
Appreciate
Hope all's well. And Mike, hit that horn again, baby, because we got HD Chiefs fan in the house with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, Kyle. Oh, what?
Oh,
we got to switch it up to the
gifted.
purge? Heck yeah, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, HD Chiefs fan has gifted 5 memberships. Make sure you have gifting on.
Make sure you're accepting
I wanted that to
gifts
be
on
very
YouTube.
epic for HD Chiefs fan. I appreciate you, brother.
We got a 2-bomb from our boy Flapjack. This is Worthy working on his KT pop-up drill. Relax, y'all. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like, I've seen Flapjack trolling everybody. Like, dude, he dropped. Who cares?
Bills fans. No, matter of fact, if KB, if you're still in here, this is not a shot at you or the Texans, but there was a Texans fan today that clipped that and was like, the Bills fleeced the Chiefs over this one drop.
That's so
Does nobody
stupid.
remember Jerry Rice when he got drafted? He had a drop problem. Pretty sure he turned out okay. Jamar Chase couldn't catch a cold the entire preseason, and I'm sure anybody would take Jamar Chase.
Like, we're talking about one
I don't know if
drop
I'd want him.
in practice. We're talking about practice, man.
That may have been the first ball ever thrown to him. Do you think he's just nervous? It wasn't even a quarterback that threw it to him. It was a coach.
It's probably honestly,
He threw
like,
a duck to him.
Do you know, like, when you're at work, are you fully engaged all the time?
No, man. I'm asleep.
It's who cares?
Well, no, I drive a lot. I can't really sleep.
I
but
wish we
am
had
half
that-
asleep.
I wish we had that clip of Allen Iverson talking about practice.
I hear you, bro.
Let's go, Casey Moe.
Ladies and gentlemen, KC Mo has gifted 5 all chiefed up memberships. Make sure that gifting's on. I love it. Like, the draft has opened up a new world for me to be very epic.
You just
want to
be over dramatic. I see how
I love to be dramatic about stuff. I should have announced all the things I was wrong about in an epic voice. That would have been too funny.
Well, I think we got half of them to go. If you want to change your mind. Hey,
No.
Casey Moe, you HD Chiefs fan, you guys are awesome. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for
Y'all
sure.
put some legendaries and some catch ups and pizzas in the chat for these guys. Man, let's keep going. Let's keep trucking. What
Yeah,
else were we wrong about?
Let's keep going. I'm going to throw this up for people. To enable gifting, click on the money icon, click membership, then click the 3 vertical dots, says Nightbot. Look, Nightbot doing the Lord's work.
He is. We got 2-bomb from our boy
go.
Steve-O. He says,
Steve-O,
the
appreciate you,
greatest.
brother.
The greatest.
The greatest.
Yeah, appreciate you, Steve-O. Hope you're doing well, my man. Yeah, let's get back to it, Mike.
Appreciate all you guys.
Dramatically tell us what the next thing is that we
Should
got
I do
wrong.
one dramatically? Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
one
go ahead.
dramatic. Here we go. Here's the dramatic one. Mike and Steve and all chiefed up said that there would be no running back selected in the top 50 and maybe in the first 2 rounds totally. Boy, were we wrong. The Panthers come out and they took a running back at number 46.
I will say this: the closer
So
we got,
we were close.
the closer we got to the
46-50.
draft, Mike. The closer we got to the draft, I kind of changed my perspective on that. Though I started saying Dallas is going after him in the 2nd round.
Yeah, we kind of felt like Dallas might be
Like,
that
no
first
doubt
one.
about it. Do you realize how bad Carolina snaked Dallas with that pick?
Boy, Dallas
Like,
didn't even
them
take a running
trading-
back the rest of the draft.
Right, them trading up to take Jonathan Brooks was nothing more than let's trade up in front of Dallas and take their guy.
Were they?
Dude,
Did they hurt Dallas's soul so bad? Like they didn't even.
Yeah.
They didn't even scout another. Running
they had
back
to go
take.
sign Zeke back.
They hurt them so bad they re-signed Zeke. Like, come on. Okay.
Yep. Real
Number
story.
9. I said that Patrick Paul would be a top 50 pick, and I even felt like he could sneak into the late first.
You were really big on him sneaking into the first
I
round.
missed.
Yeah.
Patrick Paul
Dol-
went number 55.
Dolphins took him, right?
So yeah, they picked him number 55. So
Dolphins
I
got your
technically
boy.
missed it by 5 picks. You know, I'm going to take the L on it but to be honest, I think he bamboozled a lot of people too. Like, he was the one guaranteeing he was going to the first round. I didn't guarantee it, daggone it. Like,
I don't
but
think
this
he was
dude-
guaranteed. I think he was just saying there was a lot of teams looking at him, and I think there were.
I do too. I just think there was a lot more like wide receiver like craziness going on, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little wild, man.
Yeah, so I'll give you a pass on that one too. But I do think, in hindsight, though, I like that'd been it seemed like a bit of a reach for Patrick Paul to get to the end of the first round, didn't it? Like,
right,
he's
but
just
top 50 should have happened, in my opinion.
top 50 should have. What maybe?
But he did go 55, so it wasn't too far off, right?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Mike Black Kraken in the house, baby.
Black Kraken.
Kraken.
If I don't say
With
Black
the firebomb.
Kraken's name in an Irish accent, did he really donate?
Did you ever say it? Have you ever done that?
Black Kraken. Yeah, I do it every time.
Black
What's your
Kraken.
thoughts on picking up Cam Akers on the cheap since the running back needs help? He's only 25.
I like Kim Akers. He's a injury prone type
Yeah,
little
I wouldn't
guy,
be opposed
but-
to it to let him come in, be a camp body, see what he's got. I really wouldn't. I'm really curious on what they're going to do with the running back room, though. Because who are
that's-
your running backs right now, Steve? Like, if you go into the season, what's the running back situation? Pacheco at 1, Clyde at
Right.
RB2. Who's the third down guy? Who's the McKinnon guy? This would have been a perfect time to bring back Jerry and Ely.
Yeah, I know. I loved that guy. I
Are we
thought
going to
there
start the Ely bandwagon again? Can we bring Ely back? Should we make a YouTube video that says bring back Ely and put Jerry and Ely on the cover and see if we can get the hype going and Brett Veach signs him?
I really thought he might be the next little Jared.
Where's he
McKinnon
at
guy.
right now? Can somebody
don't
look
know.
that up for me? James, go ahead and type that up. Where's Jerry and Ely? Where's Jerry and Ely right now?
Hey, we appreciate the 5, Black Kraken.
Black Kraken.
Let's see. Somebody in the chat asked where Anthony Gold went. Was it Brian Parrott? Yeah, that was the Colts, I think, that took Anthony Gold.
The Colts, man.
Yeah.
I thought the Colts had a pretty solid draft, but dude, the Steelers fizzled a little bit though after the first like 4 rounds.
Yeah, but they were killing it early, man.
They racked up though. And look, let's get on to number 10 because speaking of the Steelers, Steve, I missed here. I told you that Peyton Wilson would be top 50.
That's wild that he wasn't.
And Peyton Wilson went number 98.
Once again,
he almost
medicals.
fell in the top 100, man.
Once again, medicals.
To the
Like
Steelers.
there's just not much we can do about that. If there's some kind of medical
True,
information
man.
or anything like that, then it's really hard for us to know. So I mean, I'll give us a pass on that one.
True. I mean, I don't like giving
Mike.
passes though.
We got a 5 bomb from Casey Mo, and according to his comment here, we have to be like, we got a 5 bomb from Casey Mo. Mo.
Casey Mo.
Every time, baby. Every time.
Mo.
Every time.
Some dude unsubscribed from our channel because we sang songs during the draft process.
That was great. He said, I'm out of here.
He said, I'm done with you all.
What song was
Look.
it you were singing? Was it Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Dude.
And he said, no, I'm
Let
done.
me tell you something. When my player got drafted and my heart hurt, I was hurting, Linda. I don't know what to tell you. I had to sing and get it out.
Why'd you just go with Doyle?
Well, because I was hurting, and sometimes when you hurt, you bust into a little total eclipse of the heart. I don't know what to tell you, but you didn't have to unsubscribe over it. Daggone.
He said, these guys are stupid. They're singing Total Eclipse of the Heart.
You know what I told him when he left, though?
What?
Turn around. He did not turn around. Indeed, he went ahead and unsubscribed faster. But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. Steve, I've wrote down more than 10, so I'm just going to keep going. This is fun, right?
Oh, come on, bro.
Number 11, I said Mason McCormick would be a top 100 player because me and Bro Schmo liked Mason McCormick. He went 119. I missed a little, but I was high on Mason McCormick, and I think I missed that a little bit. This is a nice self-reflective thing that I'm doing.
No,
Steve, I said
it's not.
TJ Tampa would be
Mike,
top
we-
50 and maybe get into the first round, and TJ Tampa went number 130.
Look, we get it. You suck. You're wrong about a lot of stuff.
Last one.
Well, I'm the brains of this operation.
Actually, I got 3 more. I got 3 more. I said Ray Davis would be drafted over Will Shipley. That didn't happen.
Should have.
Will Shipley was drafted number 127. Ray Davis was drafted number
I will say this.
128.
Buffalo
One
made
pick before
Buffalo
him.
made a couple of good picks in this draft, and Ray Davis was one.
Steve, I missed him. Look, 127, 128. It was one pick, but I got it wrong, and I need to be punished for it. The second one here. I said Quantez Stiggers should get in round 4. He did not go to the
We knew
last
that
pick
wasn't
of
gonna
round
happen.
5.
I tried
just
to
thought
tell you that
Quantez
wasn't going to
Stiggers should have
happen.
happened.
It just seemed like a reach. You even said something about the 3rd round. You asked me a question if he could get in the 3rd round. I'm like,
Well,
no.
that's because I didn't think he would get to the end of round 4. I thought he would go mid round 4. So see, that's why I had to put it at the 3rd.
No, I got you.
Last one of the day, and we'll stop. I said Malik Washington was a top 100 player. He didn't go to 184.
I didn't. Yeah. I don't know. Malik Washington.
A lot of production in college, man.
I get it, but he's also that little
Did
guy,
you not feel like the Chiefs may have been looking at Malik Washington? Like, I feel like he could have fit our offense.
Well, they could have been looking at Anthony Gold too, but they got Worthy, so they didn't need to.
That's true, man. But look, I think that was a good exercise, man. We say we get things right, but we need to also admit when we get it wrong.
I don't.
And I got a lot of stuff wrong.
I don't think we have to.
I have to, man. You gotta. If you don't have integrity, what do you have in life? That's what some guy told me on the golf course one time.
Who did tell you that?
Robert Freeze. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, that's
man.
right. Don't be cheating at golf now.
Robert Freeze.
Yeah.
Used to play golf. He worked with you, right? And he
Yeah.
passed away just unexpectedly too. But that dude, yeah, he told me one time he drunk.
Did he?
Yeah, drunk off his ass. This dude was so drunk he couldn't hit the golf ball. He couldn't even see the golf ball. And he said, "Man, I'll never cheat at golf." And I said, "Why, Robert?" He said, "Because if you don't have integrity in life, what do you have?" And I said, "Drunk Robert's dishing out nuggets,
He said
baby."
He said that was a stroke. Now write it down.
He did. He said, "I missed the ball. I'm counting it as a stroke." I said, "Robert, you didn't even touch it." And he said, "Write it down." Dude,
Mark it.
Good times. He said, "Mark it down." So his integrity cost me 17 hours on the golf course. He shot a 300. Daggone it, Robert.
Yep. Hey, Toby, he says, what is the biggest takeaway from rookie camp? Biggest takeaway from rookie camp, day one, Mike. What's your biggest takeaway from rookie camp?
My biggest takeaway is we're back. I don't think anybody done anything that stood out too much, and nobody like failed too much. And I'm just happy to see everybody out there breaking a sweat and getting back into it.
How do you fail in minicamp? I think my biggest takeaway from the day is that there's too many people overreact about dumb little things.
Yeah, the Xavier Worthy drop. Can we watch that
That's
again?
crazy.
Can we watch this? Like,
Why
is this
did
really
everybody
that
freak
bad?
out so much?
Is this really that bad? Like, look, he's running the routes. I think he's actually not even doing it at full speed. He's probably showing everybody in line how to run the route, right?
I don't know.
But then this cat back here just launches one at 300 miles an hour. It's an 8-yard pass. Like, chill out. You're making Xavier look bad. Somewhere Brett Veach had a bullhorn. He said, "Would you quit throwing the ball so freaking fast? You're making me look stupid."
You're done, son. Julia says opinion on Haddon. Julia, you know my opinion on Haddon.
Yes, he's horned over him.
Man, that was my first
Your first crush in
sleeper
life, huh?
guy. Like as soon as this draft process started, he's one of the, when I was evaluating cornerbacks, I found Haddon. I was just like, why is no one talking about this guy?
He was a fun eval.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, when you
here?
watched him, dude, like when he was good, he was good.
Like, I literally asked Mike that question. This was like early in the draft process. Like, as soon as we started, I'm just
you
like,
said, why is nobody talking?
Why is nobody talking about this guy? Like, they're talking about, Terry and Arnold, TJ Tampa, and of course Quinyon Mitchell and all those guys. And I was just like, why is no one talking about this kid? Like, he is an absolute monster.
Short answer, he injured
hurt.
himself.
Yeah.
Look, if he didn't knock himself out for the season in October, he would have had a heck of a year this year in 2023. I think he'd have been a second, third, fourth round pick. That could have been on my top 10 miss list. Maybe he still goes in round 6, and I'm sitting here saying I was wrong. But
Right. Flapjack's been a member for 2 months. He says, man, I got that swag. My hat matches my bag. I'm popping tags because, man, I got that swag.
why are you rapping? Have you noticed? Like, look, I've been on X, just looking around, seeing what's going on in the Chiefs community. Why is everybody freaking out over Kendrick Lamar and Drake rapping? These are two grown men reciting poetry towards each other, bro.
Thank you.
It's two grown men reciting poetry. And these grown adults are undertaking this so...
It's lame.
But,
Mike,
dude, they're invested.
Mike,
People are tweeting about it like it's insane, bro.
Here I am trying to look at Chiefs Twitter. I'm like, okay, we have a group that's like the Chiefs. Everybody talks about the Chiefs, so we can get on there and kind of see what's going on or what they're saying about things. And it was flooded with 2 of them just talking about this, and it's like, who cares? This is 2 grown men that are literally writing, like you said, they're rhyming. They're doing nursery rhymes about each other.
They're writing poetry.
And let me tell you what they're doing. Let me tell you what they're doing, Mike. You're so dumb getting caught up in that. And here they are together, probably buddies, being like, this is how we can both be in the spotlight. We're going to make that.
They're probably releasing these songs and then just getting paid, baby.
That's what I'm saying. They know.
It's hilarious
Stupid.
because I'm like, if you guys
hate
spent
it.
as much time
I hate it.
helping your kids do their homework,
I
as you
hate
did,
it.
like looking at Kendrick Lamar lyrics.
I hate it.
Let's go, Gamer Player 2 bomb.
He says, what about the UDFA? Still maybe a steal. I see what you did there.
I like Carson Steele.
I do
Do you think
too.
Andy takes the fullback this year? It's Carson Steele or nobody, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he has a really good chance of making the squad because of that. Like if
You
he
know what? I
decides to
think
go
Wiley-
back.
I think Wiley could do a fullback. I think he's versatile enough to play fullback if you needed him in a pinch. Hot topic there. Or what's it called? Hot take?
I mean, I think any tight end could in a pinch.
I think, did Noah Gray try something last year coming out of the backfield?
I mean, Noah Gray could, Blake Bell could have done that. I mean,
You know who else could do it? C.J. Hansen. Listen, can we go back to the days of the bloated pig or whatever it was called?
bloated Tebow,
Oh, yeah.
hungry pig, right?
Hungry pig. Dude, I want to go back to the days. Like, if we're 3rd and 4th and 1, daggone, put Chris Jones in. Like, put Mike Pinnell in as your fullback.
Colin
Let's go get
Saunders.
that
I used to put
yard,
Colin
baby.
Saunders in there to lead block. Dontari Poe.
Put all the biggest linemen you have. Surely somebody can snap the football. It don't even got to be Creed. Like, Creed might be too little. I want guys that are 350 plus, fall forward. Let's get this.
Appreciate the 2 gamer player.
Appreciate
but
you,
yeah,
brother.
think so. Mike, we got a 2 bomb from our girl Brenda. She says Mike and Steve, guilty feet have got no rhythm.
Hey, I don't have rhythm. Yeah, I do. I got a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I was a drummer.
A
I
little
better.
bit. Steve is a drummer. He's got a little bit of rhythm. I used
A
to play
little bit.
drums as a
Just a
child.
little. Just a little.
Dude, I kind of want to go get a drum set it up. Kind of like Brandon and Dell.
Like a real one.
If somebody puts their balls on my drum set, we're going to fight. But I will tell you, like I want a real one. But dude, my neighbors would just rage. So
Heck
then I'm
yeah,
like,
they
should I
would.
just get like a electronic kit, just to play a little bit? Because it's fun to sit around and
Mike,
just play.
you took mine.
Yeah, but it's a little outdated by now, That's probably like, what, 10, 15 years old by now. Isn't
Yeah,
that
that's how
crazy?
long-
Time flies, bro.
That's how long it's been since I've even picked up a drumstick.
That's how long it's been since I give it back to you.
Appreciate the 2, Brenda. We got a 2 from Flapjack. He says y'all giving people PTSD from that drop video. Yeah, they're all freaking out. That's what it is. Look, guys, I think let's look forward. Let's be positive. Like when you think about the the negative things, that's why you
Wait,
get like
what-
this.
What drop video? This one?
Good grief.
Look, he's just showing them how to run the route. Look, he's like, look, guys, you just do this. You cut here, you come back.
Hey, do you want to know what's really funny? What would be hilarious to me
What?
is if everybody was freaking out about him dropping the ball in this video, and literally what he said to the guy before he went the route was like, "Check this out, I'm gonna do my best Kadarius Toney impression,"
That'd be funny.
and he
Or-
was just
yeah.
being a jerk.
Yeah, they're like, dude, get up here and show us how KT would do it. And he said, I
Right.
think it's kind of funny.
Somebody
You gotta
caught it
give
on
him a
camera.
pass. The dude just had Q39. He's got saucy fingers, bro. Chill out. Just chill a little.
Had saucy fingers. TGZ says, "Are we tailgating the schedule reveal? When is it?"
They haven't really released it. Have they released the full date yet? Because like last time I seen it, I hadn't seen it.
I mean, if they're gonna do it, let's do it. Why not? It'd be fun.
Yeah, we could get on here and mess around. Oh, here it is. It
I'm not
says,
opposed to it.
according to Fox Sports, the NFL will announce its schedule for the 2024 season on Thursday, May the 9th. So next Thursday. I'll be off, man.
It's this Thursday, right?
You're right. It's this Thursday night. Yeah, I'll be off. We can go live.
Well,
and do it.
actually, here's the thing about that, TGZ. This coming Thursday is going to be our members only live stream.
Well, how about we do members only from like say 6 to 7, and then we'll go live at 7 and run
Do
it
the
out
schedule
for 2
reveal?
hours and do a schedule.
If everybody's cool with that, let's do it. I'm down.
that'd be
I'm down.
fun.
I'm down. That'd be fun. Appreciate the 2, TGZ. Yeah, man. So we talked about mini camp. Or the rookie camp. Sorry. We've talked about all the things we got wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm excited about what's to come. What do they do? Like, they'll be doing some more drills tomorrow, I'm sure, with the rookies, right?
Yeah, I think they have one more day. They do something on Monday too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I think it does go Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know. It's so weird because they're not allowed to do anything like specifically. They can't hit. They can't wear pads.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much just like coming in and getting like some orientation. Like, this is where your locker is. This is the practice field.
Right. Mean Street says, who do you think will play week 1? I think we
I think
both
it's the
agreed it's the
Texans, man.
Texans.
I think we opened up against the Texans. But they could open it up against a divisional rival. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't give us the Raiders or the Chargers because of Jim Harbaugh. Or John. Which one is it?
I think that there's so much
Is it
hype.
John or Jim, Steve?
They're both coaches.
Which one's with the Chargers? It's John.
John.
Right?
Yeah, no, Jim. Sorry.
Where's Jim?
Yeah. You had me confused. John Harbaugh's the Ravens.
Dude, they're both dorks.
They are. They're
Straight
super
up.
big dorks. Do you kind of feel like that Coach John Calipari looks like he could be their brother?
Yeah.
Do you see
I'm
it?
glad he went to Arkansas, man.
Yeah. You know what? Appreciate
The
you, Cal, but
arrogance
it
of
was time
him,
for you.
bro.
It's time for you to go. Your course.
The arrogance
You ran
of
your
Cal.
course. Mike, Toby wants to know if you can show that clip of Worthy catching the ball on that route. He looked like he ran pretty smooth.
Oh, yeah. I can show that route again because that was a very nice route. Watch him right here, man. You see him get up on the – there's no defender here. But you see how he can press up on the guy, which is the coach, and then he goes out towards the sideline. But watch how smooth his feet are in his release. I'll play it one more time. He doesn't have to slow down very much at all. Look at that. That's 4.21 speed, and he's just right back into it. It's almost like a
Why don't you play it one more time without the comment covering up his
okay.
feet?
It's almost as if he man, it's just beautiful footwork in a way. You see how he just gets there and he gets
Yeah.
low and he dips. And,
So good.
dude, yeah, it's good, man. Good change of direction, and that's what Andy Reid and them want from him. Until you learn it, and you can see he kept his weight balanced over his feet. You can't get your upper body trailing there as a wide receiver. When you go to stop, you got to get that over your feet, or you're going to fall forward. You're going to lean back. Like, he's good at running routes. So I'll give it to Xavier Worthy, man. He can run routes, and I don't have
for sure.
I have no qualms about his hands, man. Again, I told everybody in 2022 he had some drop problems. The kid had a broken hand. He had 7 drops. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the best receiver, number 1 receiver taken in this draft. And in 2023, he had 6 drops, and he had 0 broken hands, okay? So he only had 1 more drop with a broken hand than Marvin Harrison Jr. did. So I have no issues with his hands.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. I'm really not. I think we're fine. It's just a little bit of PTSD, like Flapjack was saying. Everybody's a little.
Hey, man,
we
can we
even
talk
have a
about
little
receivers for a
PTSD
second?
from that. Yeah, let's
Me and
do it.
Lance was talking. You may have heard this today.
Mike, you and Lance talked about everything apparently, because that's what you've been saying the whole time.
Well, I did it first, but we talked a little bit about receivers, and I want to get your take on this.
All right.
We said that they're not taking 7. You agree?
I agree. I don't think they're going to do it again. Could they? Yeah, but probably not.
And their 6 is Worthy, Hollywood, Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore. Who am I missing? Oh, Justin Watson's probably
Watson.
6, right?
That's it.
So who's gone? Is Justin Ross is literally out of KC, right?
Is there a reason for him to be there?
He goes, well, that's kind of what we're talking about. So, and Lance and a lot of people are still under the assumption that the Chiefs need to go sign another veteran, like Tyler Boyd or something.
I don't think it's necessary.
But where do they go? Like, who are you cutting? Because I know they're going to say, well, cut Kadarius Toney, cut Justin Watson, cut Sky Moore. But the Chiefs aren't going to do this stuff because they're getting paid so little amount of money to be here.
I just don't see it. Like, if any of those, I would think it would be Justin Watson, but we thought that last year. But they just like the kid.
Nico Remigio's got a shot of getting back in here. Man, we were at camp when he got hurt. I was telling Lance that today.
Yeah.
We were at camp the day he got hurt. And that kid's still tough. He still got his butt up and went to the sideline. And they were looking at his feet. They were looking at his arms. They were looking everywhere to see what he did. And you called it. You were like, dude, I think he broke his collarbone. But I don't remember what he ended up doing.
He dislocated his shoulder.
That's what it was?
The way he came up, I thought it was a collarbone. No.
But still a beautiful catch. And I think he's got a shot to make the team because he is that little guy that I think him and Sky Moore would be perfect in the slot to battle it out for the slot. And then also
I like it.
Nico with this new special teams rule, man. That's what he did. He played some special teams. So Nico's got a love for the game too. And that's another thing we were talking about. Kadarius Toney, I like the fact that he does have a high ceiling. I get it. But is his love for the game, like, does he treat football like football's it? And I don't think he does. And I would prefer
Well, that's
a guy
what Gronk was saying,
that loves
you know?
the game over a guy that just plays the game.
You made a short about that where Gronkowski was talking about him. He said, man, I just don't know if he really loves football. Because if you're not fixing little things and you're worried about this and that, and you're not worried about, basically he was saying if Kadarius Toney really loved the game, he wouldn't have been dropping balls after the first time. Because he would have corrected it.
He would have broke into the practice facility and caught balls on the jug machine for 17 hours.
Figured it out.
Do you think, and this is one more thing that I wanted to ask you, if Kadarius Toney comes in to camp, KTSD.
I like it, George.
If Kadarius Toney comes into camp and he's injured before camp's over again this year, do you cut him? Do you just say we're done? You can't have this guy. Because all last season, he was supposed to be wide receiver 1. He gets injured the first day at camp. The whole narrative around him by all Chiefs Kingdom was, well, we only need Kadarius Toney for the playoffs. And then he was a healthy scratch in the playoffs, and then he threw the Chiefs under the bus.
I think what you do is you're like, is there anybody in the league that's dumb enough to give us a 7th-round pick for this guy?
That's what I said, too.
Yeah.
And if he gets injured and Brett Veach can't shop him, I would cut his butt before I'm taking somebody like a Nico and just looking at him.
Here's the thing. I think that, and I'm not saying they won't do this, but I think they need, like, Andy and even Brett, if he wants to get involved, they need to have a real conversation with Kadarius Toney. Like, sit that kid down and be like, look.
Do you think maybe they've done this, though, behind closed doors? I feel
if they haven't, if they have not yet, now is the time. You got to sit that kid down and be like, look, you have a skill set that is special. Not a lot of people in this world have. It can make you a lot of money and have you a good career, right? Like, you could be very good. You got a high ceiling, but you're at a crossroads right now, Kadarius. Like, if you keep playing small injuries where you don't want to be on the football field, if you're not going to focus 100%, we're going to cut you. And guess what? Nobody else wants you. Your career is done. Like, you are done. You're toast. Like, you're at a point now, you're outside of your rookie contract. Like, it's time to grow up. Like,
right. And dude, you couldn't be in a better position. You've got Andy Reid and you've got Patrick Mahomes throwing you the football, bro. Just get it together.
Like, if that don't wake him up, then he's screwed. He's never going to do it.
Look, I like Kadarius Toney, man. I do. And again, a lot of people would say, look, cut him, cut Sky Moore. In my opinion, you cut Kadarius Toney over Sky Moore because Sky Moore is still just in a 3rd year of a rookie contract, and I think you still have to kind of tap in and be there. But Tony's he's going into 5 years. Like, this is what, year 4? I think year 4, year 5. I think it's year 4 this year. They didn't pick up the year 5.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's got to get it together, man.
You've been effing around for 4 years now.
Effing. That's what you've been doing.
Effing it.
You've been freaking sucking. Get it together.
No, but for real, you've been sitting around playing with yourself for 4 years, and you have this ridiculous high ceiling. Like, you could be a good receiver in the National Football League. You could have a long career. You can make a lot of money doing this. Or do you want to end up bagging groceries in a couple of years? What do you want to do?
I could tell you where he's going to be.
Look, Mike, I'm looking it up right now. Let me tell you something.
Oh, he's got out the phone. Well, while you're looking that up, I found footage of him in the future. This is Kadarius Toney if he gets cut.
Go away, Baton. Damn it.
That's him.
Here's what I would do, and this is dead serious. In my conversation I was having with Kadarius Toney where I was like, your little come to Jesus meeting where it's like, hey, dude, you're screwing your life up. Like, it's time to get serious about this because you have a good opportunity. Here's what I would do. I would bring up Spotify, and I'd say, look, here's Young Joka. This is you. You want to be a rapper? Look, you have 1,500 monthly listeners.
Oh, my God. You're bringing out his monthly listeners.
Get over it. Like, I'm sorry, but if you think that's how you're going to eat,
my God,
you're dead wrong.
That's a low blow, Steve.
It's not. It's just the truth. It's a reality check. Like, I'm sorry, but no one cares about him as a rapper.
That's a low blow.
1,500 monthly listeners.
That's a low blow.
It's not. It's the truth. It's time to wake up. It's time to freaking play football, buddy. That's what you're good at. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're either going to screw your life up or you're not. That's what they need to tell him.
Let the boy watch.
After he shows him that, Brett Veach says that. And he says, Andy, daggone, that was low.
Y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong, if I'm off base here.
I think you're probably right. Like, put the music on the back burner. You can play football for 10 years. The music's going to be there when you're 33, 32,
right,
31. Like what? Music's going to be there when he's 25 if he don't get it together this year. Because like you said, nobody really... Could you get presumably a 7th-round pick or a comp pick? You could probably get a comp pick out of Kadarius Toney, right? Surely. There's somebody out there that would be like...
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's the thing, man. Like, and that's the thing. I'm not even like trying
Would
to
you
dog
give
the kid.
more if you were a GM? Would you come more trading for Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore?
Sky Moore, without a doubt.
I would too, 100%. And people's going to say you're still an apologist, but I still think at least Sky Moore likes football. He's trying to get better. He has some self-examination. Like, he took some credit when he was sucking. He was like, I got to get better, man. I stink. I gotta catch the football. I got to do like, but Kadarius Toney just kind of like, he's almost like a narcissist. We were saying that today. Like, he just doesn't want to accept the blame, and he just puts it on everybody.
Well, that's what I was saying. He needs to come to Jesus meeting with Andy. I think
He
if anybody
does.
can get through to that kid, it's Andy, and Andy's got to be the tough love, right? And that's the thing. And I'm not trying to dog on the guy because if he loves to do music, that's cool. And I'm not saying that he's bad or he's good, but I'm just saying that in reality, you have 1,500 monthly listeners, and one of them's you, and a lot of them's your family.
Dude, I'm 1,400 of those, bro. I've got so many Spotify
Like,
accounts.
I'm
No,
sorry,
joking.
but it just is what it is.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I think he's got to get it together. And that's kind of what we said today. If he comes into camp and he's fumbling around all July and August, and this dude can't get on the field for preseason and stuff, you got to be like, guy, come on. You're
sorry.
going. I would
Yeah.
rather take Justin Ross again for another year. I'd rather let Nico come up and try it.
And here, I don't know if this is me being an optimist or what, but like I do feel like Kadarius Toney's smart enough to know this.
Yeah, I
like,
do too.
I think
he knows.
I think he's got to make the right decisions, and I do. I'm gonna stay optimist, like be the optimist about it, and think that he, it's time to grow up and get it together. I think he'll make the right decisions.
I don't think Kadarius Toney has as bad of a year as he had last year. If he can keep it together, I think he does better.
Absolutely.
Sky
Oh,
Moore.
do you think another thing
I'm
could
I'm still out with Sky Moore, man.
Well, real quick before we move on to that,
Okay.
do you think another thing with Kadarius Toney last year? I honestly feel like the Chiefs. I'm not saying they made him bad, so don't take this the wrong way. But do you think the way that they refused to put anyone with proven talent in the wide receiver room last year and went out to the world and said our wide receiver one's Kadarius Toney? Do you think
Right.
that pressure messed with him?
It could have, and then at the same time, it's like you didn't have anybody pushing you, and you just felt entitled. Like, hey, I can do what I want. I'm wide receiver one. here.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it was a little
Yeah,
bit too much
could have
pressure
been
for a guy
pressure.
that hadn't. Do you think he had trouble convincing himself that he would be a wide receiver one on a football team? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that went into that, and I think, like I said, I think he had the yips, and I think if they do it right and Kadarius can get his head straight, he'll be a fine football player. I mean, he'll be
Right.
good this year.
Yeah. So, Sky Moore just a little bit, and I know people hate Sky Moore. We've not yet to give up on Sky Moore, and it's not that we're trying to be an apologist, but I still think a guy that.
Well, you want to talk about things we're wrong about. I really thought Sky Moore was going to be a good receiver, and I thought that he could come in and fill in Juju's role last year.
Right.
I bought into what Andy told me,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a thing, and completely wrong.
Yes.
But I'm with you. I just think it's kind of stupid to give up on a kid now.
Well, okay, look, he's on that rookie contract for 4 years, and look at the way it's going. They're not picking up you don't even get a fifth year. He's a
He's a
second
second
pick.
round pick. Yeah.
So look, you've got 2 more cheap years on him. Okay, he does work hard. Look, he's worked hard, and the thing about Sky Moore again is he was a small school guy, and what was his knocks coming out of college? He didn't have a big route tree. They used him
Poor
like Malachi
competition.
Corley. They got him the ball quick, and he got all of his yards after, and he got it against. Let's be honest, some small school.
Poor competition.
guys.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, poor competition. So look, there was going to be a learning curve. And then I think Chiefs fans thought, like, when you start comparing him to George Pickens and this and that, like, the dude didn't have a chance. Let's be
Well,
honest.
here's the thing. Like, I feel like what the skill set Sky Moore does have, the Chiefs Kingdom hasn't even seen it yet. Like, he's not even been able to put it on
Right.
display.
I think that's a failure by the coaches a little bit.
I do.
And Lance
I
actually
do.
said that today, too, because he was like, well, what about when Sky Moore doesn't run the route right against that San Francisco safety and he comes down and gets it picked, or he runs this route wrong? And I said, but Lance, you're telling me everything that we seen when he was scouted. And the Chiefs seen that, and yet they're still trying to make him something he's not.
Right,
Which is
dude,
that
I'm telling
crazy
you-
wide receiver. Like, he's not that guy.
I think if they if Sky Moore, if they said, "Look, dude, you're not going to get as many snaps because when you're in, you're going to be our slot,
Yeah.
right?" So and get the guy the ball quick and let him create. And I think after a couple games of using him like that, even if it's in small doses, I think he could start flipping the script on a couple people about what they think about him. Because I really don't think anyone's seen his actual skill set. Because, like, if you go back and watch his college tape, like, Sky Moore, ridiculously quick in small spaces. Like, his burst is not Tyreek Hill, but it's like the next level down.
Dude, the fact that he had like a 1% drop rate. He didn't drop balls.
Because they weren't out there making him run routes today. He
forced more missed tackles than any player in college football. Like, he held the college record on that.
I want to see if he can do it.
You don't even see him in a position to do it.
Right. I want to see if he can do it or not. If he can't do it, then he can't do it.
Right. And again, I think after this year's Sky's maybe make or break year. I think if he doesn't do well this year, like if he gets a roster spot and he comes out and has another year like he had this year, Chiefs Kingdom will all but go pack his bags for him. But what does he have to get to change minds? Do you think he's got to have 50 catches, 10 touchdowns this year? Or do you think he just has to be serviceable?
No, it's exactly what I was just saying.
What do you think? 35 catches and like 500 yards and like 4 touchdowns.
I don't think it's the matter. I don't think it's the matter of stats.
You just want him to show up in moments.
He's got to contribute.
Right. In moments.
And that's the thing. The way they've been using Sky Moore, he's like we've said it a million times. You can't say it, any more than we have. They don't use him exactly the way that a guy like him should be used, right? If they decide to use him as a slot guy, let him get yak. I think that it's just going to take him contributing when he's on the football field, because right now we've seen a lot of snaps for Sky Moore, but he was completely invisible.
Yeah,
it's like he wasn't on the field. So when he's in the game, if he impacts, then I think people will start to be like, okay. But until then, no.
Right. Look, Jillian makes a point. The CH grading scale. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not a first-round pick. He was graded out, in my opinion, as a third-round pick. If he were taken in round 3, nobody would hate Clyde like they do. You never hear the words bust out of Clyde at a third-round pick. If Sky Moore was not taken in round 2 and he's taken in round 4, which was what his talent set was, you can't tell me Sky Moore coming out of school was that much more talented than Brendan Rice, and Brendan Rice falls to round 7, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me that. So not Brendan Rice, but Sky Moore, Malik Washington was closer to what he done. Malik Washington goes pick 200 and something, or like 180. That's where Sky should have went. Like, so whose fault is it? It's Brett Veach's fault that he's taking so much heat, right?
Right. Well, another thing that you have to consider too is like when some people are going to take this comment differently, is like, oh yeah, they both suck, or they're both busts, or they're both not good athletes. Well, that's cool if you want to say that about Clyde, because Clyde wasn't like the athlete that was going to wow you. Sky Moore, though, a 1.46 10-yard split.
That's elite.
A 4.41 40-yard dash. His 20-yard split's a 2.51. That's elite. Like,
what was
the kid's speed
look,
is
give me his 40-yard dash again. I want to compare it to who got drafted and where they got drafted.
So to call him a bad athlete's just wrong.
Did you say 4.41?
Yeah.
So he ran, listen to this, his 40-yard dash was the same as Troy Franklin. And people were saying Troy Franklin was supposed to be a deep speed threat for us, a vertical threat.
Right. Now, who had a 1.46 10-yard split?
1.46 10-yard split. Roma Dunze had a 1.52. Brian Thomas had a 1.5. Adonai Mitchell had a 1.52. Ladd McConkey had a 1.52. Xavier Worthy had a 1.49. He's got a faster 10-yard split than Xavier Worthy.
That's what I'm saying. People do not understand what Sky Moore could be. Like, it's just been like a bad experiment. If he was allowed to showcase what he can do.
Did he really go 1.46? Like, where did you find this? Is this Raz or what?
That's his Raz, Mike.
So they've actually listed it. Okay, I was just making sure it was official or unofficial.
Yeah.
A 1.46, dude, is elite. You know, Tyreek Hill was a 1.5.
That's what I was saying. In small space and small space.
He's got 10 and a half inch hands too. Yeah. That's the biggest hands of anybody in this entire draft.
For the size of that guy, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's insane,
isn't it?
Bro.
Like, he's gonna look weird.
Okay, look. So if you look at his Raz, I don't. What is it? What was his Raz? Like about a 6, something like that, 6 or 7.
It was almost an 8. It was like a 7 point. Hold on. Did I even have it? Let me go back. I think it was like a 7.9. But like, you have to remember they counted him like a 1 for his height.
Yeah.
I got it. You can calm down.
You're fine. I was just looking for his hand size.
7.58. 7.58. So yeah, they graded him a 1.69 poor for height. What, 5'9"?
I was wrong.
Yeah.
His hand size is not 10.5. It was 10 1/4. But
It's
10
still
1/4 is
stupid.
big, dude. Stephon Diggs has bigger
Think
hands.
about this. I'm 6'3",
Yeah.
and my hands look big to the average person. They're like 8 something.
Hey, dude,
Like he's 5'9" with 10-inch hands.
10 1/4.
What?
Stephon Diggs has the most out of Stephon Diggs, Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. Stephon Diggs has bigger hands than all of them at 10-inch, and Sky Moore has bigger than him.
That's weird.
Like he's got some intangibles.
You think that's the problem? His hands are so big. Like
his hands are so big, bro. He can't
run.
raise his arms. Like we
Yeah.
wonder why he's dropping, but he can't get his hands up. And they weigh too much. I just think we got to give him a little bit of time in a way because again, small competition. He's not being used properly. Again, when you see his faults on film was he don't have a good route tree. He's not the most precise route runner. But yet he goes to the Chiefs, and what have they asked him to do? Be a precise route runner and run all these elaborate routes. And it's like, well, you're setting the guy
and
for
play on the
failure,
outside, which is something he didn't do a lot.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm gonna give him one more year. If he
That's
stinks
what
this
I'm
year,
saying,
he's
yeah.
gone for real. Like I'll be like, I don't care. But I just can't call the guy a bust yet. I'm kind of weird about that though. I don't like calling people's bust until at least the rookie contracts are over, right?
Right. K. Wayne's not a bust. He has a 15-second 10-yard split, bro.
Bro, that's probably about 10 seconds faster than me.
No, but yeah, it is what it is with Sky Moore. Like I think we see what he does this year. Here's the thing with Sky. If it's what we say, and they're just not using him properly, and if he was able to showcase the skills he does have, say it works, great. Then we know. If the Chiefs don't allow him to do that this year, and he continues to be a non-factor, then who's to say he's not going to go to the next team and be able to utilize? They'll utilize him correctly.
Right.
So I mean, I'm like I said, I'll stop short of calling Sky Moore a bust because first of all, they reached to get him. Second of all, we just have to. I think the third year. I think this is like a pivotal year for him.
Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney are definitely on what I would like to call the thin ice segment of their career.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
absolutely.
those
Make
two
or
right
break,
there
baby.
are the thin ice kind of guys. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire was there last year, and I think he did a little bit to get Chiefs Kingdom back on his side. I still don't think people were thrilled that they re-signed him, but is Clyde that big of a? I think in the offseason, that's not a bad signing to come back for one more year. People like Clyde outside of football, right? Like I know Brittany's a fan of him, Patrick's a fan. They all like him.
Clyde seems like a cool guy. Honestly.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. Like he made that thing about the parade, when all that chaos happened. Clyde was helping little kids and all kinds of things. So he's a good dude, and I think, like I said, he was a product of being overdrafted and overvalued by a franchise that just wanted to get him. And I think
Right.
Sky's the same thing. But they're on thin ice for real. I think so. Maybe more than anybody. I can't really even think of a defender that's nowhere near being on that make or break year. Can you think of a defender on a make or break year?
Not really.
I think Willie Gay was there last year. We said that. Look where Willie is.
Well, Willie played pretty well last year, to be
He
honest.
did, but he didn't get better. He didn't get elite at the things he needed to be elite at, which was coverage and
Well,
stopping the
that
run.
that very well could be your Sky Moore thing. Like how Willie
Right.
was a freak athlete, and people thought that he had a really high ceiling. He never met it. So that could be what Sky.
Yeah, he
ended up
fell
being.
just a little short. I love Willie, and Willie brought a spark, baby. I loved his attitude, dude.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, he didn't get there. But I'm telling you, man, off-ball linebacker is one of those things that not a lot of guys are succeeding at a lot. Off-ball linebackers in this league have been atrocious for about 10 years now. Actually, linebackers in general have stunk for the past 10 years. I can't
Yeah.
even name some of the better ones.
Nick Bolton, baby.
Dude, people are so mad about Nick Bolton getting paid money. Like they don't think he should get paid. Yeah, like
Look,
people are just not.
I'm
onto
glad.
that one.
I'm glad those people don't make the decisions.
Do you think? Do you think Nick Bolton should be paid as a top 5 linebacker though? I can't get on board with that. I don't think he's a top 5 linebacker in the league.
Who's
Top
better?
10, I'll give it to you, but top 5, I can't do it.
Name 5 better than him right now.
Fred Warner is better. I think Patrick Queen's probably better. Let me see.
He's better than you think. Nick Bolton's like just that low key guy.
But you put
don't
him
get
at
enough
5?
credit.
You put him in the top 5 though.
He's damn well right there with it. I don't think I really, dude.
Let me see what PFF rated top linebackers this year.
He led the league in tackles like 2 years ago.
Okay, so they have their top.
About?
Let's see, the top 32 ahead of 20. So going into last year, here's who they had. Tier 1 linebackers, Fred Warner, okay. Levante David, which he kind of fell off a little. Demario Davis, he had a heck of a year. Matt Milano, Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith is who I meant to say, not Patrick Queen. I'm crazy. So it's Roquan Smith, Shaquille Leonard, Bobby Wagner, which is getting old, Dre Greenlaw, Trey Edmonds, and then Tier 3, TJ Edwards, Nick Bolton. Eric Kendricks, Frankie Louvu, David Long Jr., Tier 4, Devondre Campbell.
Does it not sound like he's in the wrong company there, though?
I think he could go into Tier 2. I can't put him with Fred Warner, man. I can't do it. Fred Warner's just a different beast. Like, I think Fred Warner, Demario Davis, those guys are like in the league of their own, right? But he's close. He's close. He's right there.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I think you got to pay the kid. I do. I think it's dumb. Like when you start thinking about who they wouldn't pay, and a lot of people will instantly go, well, you have to pay Creed and you have to pay Trey Smith, but not Nick Bolton. And then you're just out of control because Nick Bolton's your green dot on the defense. Spags loves the kid. He's making plays like crazy. Like I said, he led the league in tackles like not last year, but the year before. He was hurt last year, so you have to give him a little bit of slack there. But like he's a game changer.
Nick Bolton is right now, dude. He's criminally underpaid though. He's only going to make. Look, his first 3 years in the league, he made $660K, $925K, and last year he made $1 million.
Like obviously you can't go crazy.
This
and pay
year
the guy,
he gets $3 million, I think.
You can't go crazy and just overpay him. That's not what I'm saying. But I think he gets what he gets. I think that he deserves it, and I think that he has a better chance of getting signed back than Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. And not saying not saying them together, but like and or whichever way you want to put that.
They're saying his average per year is somewhere along the lines of $3 million a year. Seems low to me.
What's the easiest position to hit on in a draft? Guard? Center?
Yeah, offensive line pretty decent outside of like left tackle. Centers and guards you usually get. I think Hunter Norzak could come in and play center right now if you need
Hunter
to.
Norzak could prove to be like one of the best centers. Right. You never know. Someone like that could end up being the best center in the league later.
Did you know out of all the centers in this draft, he had the 4th highest run blocking grade of anybody? Only Jackson Powers Johnson, and then Sincere, I forget his name. He didn't even get drafted. Like, there was one of them that was number 3, and he never even get drafted. And it's just crazy, dude. But we could have got our hands on Jackson Powers Johnson if you needed to have grabbed him.
Yep.
It's pretty wild. I mean, I don't know if I pay him like a top 5 linebacker, but I'm getting him close, in my opinion. I think I can get him close. I don't know what that would be.
As far as like player, like you said, make or break years for a defensive player.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds stupid, but I think Justin Reed has to have a huge year if he wants to continue to be a Chief.
Yeah, 100%. I'm there with Justin. I don't think Justin Reed's like make or break for like his career.
No.
But yeah, to be long-term Chief, I think they step away from him.
Because Justin Reed, I love Justin Reed.
Depending on if Jaden Hicks hits, I think that could be.
I think Justin Reed has been what we expected him to be, and I think he's been good. He's been good for the team. But a lot of people don't. But I think. I
hit the wrong button. That was supposed to be for Flip.
Flip with the 5-bomb.
He says, I would say L'Jarius Sneed helped Nick Bolton put him on the map and vice versa. Those two, they help each other, man. It's all big. I think a lot of them owe Chris Jones, right? Chris Jones takes a lot of double teams, keeps a lot of linemen off of you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just... I think they keep Nick Bolton. In my opinion, he's too valuable to Spags, and Spags just signed that long-term deal. I think Nick Bolton's
a baller, bro. Like, it's not like he wasn't like the crazy athlete coming out of college. He kind of fell in the draft. Really, we got him in the 2nd round, I believe, and a lot of people projected him in the 1st, but it was like his athleticism just kind of had him falling down the board. We picked him up. He's just solid, dude. Like, he's smart. He knows where to be. He's always near the ball. Like, he does everything that you want a middle linebacker to do. That's what he does. I mean, you can't ask for much better.
Steve, a lot of people in the chat are asking if the Discord link's still good.
Oh, I don't even know.
Did something happen with Discord? I don't know what happened to it.
I don't know. I didn't think people were that interested in Discord. Like, it didn't seem like it was like a thing. People
Yeah, it didn't
really
seem like
cared
people were
about.
knocking down the door to get over there or anything. So,
Let me check.
but I
check
mean,
it
we
out.
could check into it. I'm not for sure. Yeah, appreciate you, Flip, for the 5, man. Jay
Heck yeah.
asked who would replace Nick Bolton and his impact. It's a good question. Like, I don't think it happens, to be honest.
Everyone wants to say Drew Tranquil because he did it when he was hurt, but it's like, I don't think that's the answer. I think Drew's awesome, but I don't think
Yeah.
like
I don't like Drew just playing that middle interior linebacker anyway. I don't like him just playing that. I want to see
Right.
Drew's versatility and getting after the QB a little bit, coming out and guarding the slot a little bit, taking some tight ends here and there. I don't want him just sitting there like being a run stuffer or just some kind of a zone guy. Like, I want him to get out and use his athleticism.
Agreed. I agree with that. I'm going to go see if that Discord link works. So go ahead and do what you got to do.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, Cole says he has a hell of a football IQ. I think Bolton's good, man. I really do. I like Bolton. Again, I don't know. I'm not for sure what his top 5. Like, I'm not for sure what the top 5 linebacker salaries are. Let's go look this up and let's see what the top 5 are and see what he could possibly be paid. So Roquan, $20 million. Shaq Leonard, $19.7 million. Fred Warner, $19 million. Tremaine Edwards, $18 million. And then showing C.J. Mosley, I believe, but it didn't have his number. Let me see. Yeah, C.J. Mosley, 17. So look, feasibly for me, I could get to Nick Bolton being paid top 10. So Devondre Campbell at $10 million is number 9. $10 million, number 9, Bobby Okereke, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not for sure. Dolphins linebacker Jerome Baker, 12.5. Matt Milano, 14. I could see him getting to 14 million a year. I don't know if I'm comfortable paying Nick Bolton over $15 million a year. Would you be? Would you give him $45 million over 3 or $60 million over 4? That feels like a lot. I would be closer to saying 40 to 45
What did we pay
million.
Hitchens? What did we pay Hitchens, dumbass, when he was here?
Right, that's a good. Let's go see what we paid Anthony Hitchens.
Because he sucked.
Yeah, he stunk, dude. But didn't he learn from that a little bit, maybe? He got paid 5 years, 45. So, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's kind of the range you'd have to be in, right?
yeah, in my opinion. So, look, 5 for 45. I said 4 for 45. So, okay, if you could get it 5 for 45, that might be okay. He also got a $14 million signing bonus, 21.2 guaranteed. So, maybe if you can give Nick Bolton, maybe he takes 5 years, 45 or 40. I don't think you got to go that much guaranteed, though. I think you're still around that 20, 25 guaranteed mark. That would be a good way. Yeah, I would be comfortable paying him Anthony Hitchens money. But look, I think Brett Veach, that stunk. Wasn't that one of Brett Veach's first moves? That was bad, bro. Not a fan of Hitch.
Let me see here. I'm going to put a link on here. I don't know if this is the right link or not, but I think we'll see if it still works. If y'all want to get the Discord rolling, if any of you mods or anybody like that does Discord and wants to do that yourself or like be a mod over there and like actually do that, that's cool. Just email us. But like,
yeah, we'll let somebody take it over and like just.
I'm doing so much stuff. I
can't.
I can't worry about it, to be honest.
Yeah, we've never been big with Discord. Didn't really understand it. At least I don't. But
we're old people.
Yeah, daggone, I barely know how to use.
I don't know. Try that link and see if that takes you anywhere. I don't know. I will tell you guys this while you're talking about Discord. So, Discord, that's a place where you can talk all the time, right? 24/7. We have another place like that. Patreon.com/allchiefedup. It's $1 a month to become a member over there. We get bonus content. We try to do weekly drops over there. We do little extras here and there. And we're talking about doing a lot of different stuff. And it's just $1 a month. And there's also, they've integrated it to their app as well now. But there's an actual chat in there where we can talk to everybody 24/7. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves. We can talk on there. We can see all of it. And it's just an open chat all the time. And if y'all would be interested in something like that, go hit up Patreon because it's just $1 a month and you get all kinds of bonus footage. It'll open up the back catalog so you can watch all the old stuff if you want to.
Yeah,
There's some
free,
phone wallpapers.
Phone wallpapers. We got the new Xavier Worthy wallpaper.
Great. So just a lot of different stuff over there, but there is an open chat on there that I would like to start utilizing. So K. Wayne says he talks to himself a lot over there. See, go help K. Wayne talk to other people. And that's something I want to be. I want to make sure I get my notifications turned on for that. And I'd like to be more involved in it too. Just a place where we could all talk whenever we want, you know?
Yeah, I like the idea of just going and having an open free chat. You know, that's a little Discord for me is a little hard to understand. Like, I don't get it.
You're old. You're an old person, bro.
I guess I'm old, man. Dude, I just turned 41. I'm getting up there. Baby. I don't know.
About Time says he can't put another dude as his wallpaper.
Dude.
You never had. Hey, I have another dude as my wallpaper right now. Hold on.
Oh yeah, you do.
Oh, it's not working. You can't see him. There he
Oh, I
is.
see
Look
him.
at that. Look at that handsome boy.
Yeah, buddy.
That's okay. You're allowed to do that. You can do it.
You can do it.
Man. Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button for us if you haven't. It just takes a second. We'd appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't. And, of course, get over to Patreon. Become a patron. An all-chiefed up patron. Also, you guys that are members, we appreciate you all. Like I said, we'll be trying to do our members-only live stream this coming Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Also, I know there's a handful of you guys that are Alex Smith members, Patrick Mahomes members. So I want to, this is something I've been trying to get together, but I need some feedback from you guys. I want to do a Zoom call where we can all get on together and talk. I would like to do, I want to give you guys start giving you guys a code for a merch discount every month. So what I'm thinking about doing is just like on the community page of YouTube, just like making it a post that only certain members can see, and I'll give you guys a code. That way you can get, an extra discount on the store and things like that. So I just want to start giving you guys what you deserve. But I got to get all the little kinks worked out with like the Zoom call and things. When do you want to do it? And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That's that's something we've talked about doing. It's tough to get a lot of people together though at one specific time for people's, it's hard to get people's lives to match up like that. But
let's go, gamer player. Everyone follow suit. Get over there and be a patron.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people over there. I think right now we probably got like at least maybe 30, 40, 50 members. It used to be a lot more.
Did you say 30 or 40, bro?
Well, I'm not for sure. I'm talking about like all time. I'm sure they probably dropped in and out here and there, but now it's cheaper. It used to be $10 a month, and we've knocked it down to $1. So
yeah, well, that's kind of how we were supplementing when YouTube screwed us over. But now we're kind of, hey, let's do this for $1. Let's let people utilize it. Right now we have 66 total members, but a lot of people go over there and they become a free member. You don't get any of the stuff if you're a free member. You can see the post, but you can't watch it. So just pay the $1. Pay the damn $1. It's $1.
Cole says, if we hadn't taken Worthy in the first, who would you guys have traded up for other than Leggett? So are you talking about like in the first round, who would I have traded up for? I would have been completely well, look, we just did a video about this. The Chiefs are apparently trying to make calls to trade up for Amarius Mims.
Yeah.
That was a rumor.
Would I have done that? I don't think so. But they like those freak athlete guys, and he's one of them.
I would have been and Steve already knows this. Anybody was watching it. Once
Fatanu.
Yeah, once Troy Fautanu fell to 15-16 and got past the Seahawks, I would have been calling people to get up. I don't care if the dude has a knee problem that may shorten his career. You don't need him for no more than 8. You just need him as long as Patrick Mahomes is going to be here. That's it. Right. So 8, 10 more years, whatever Patrick's going to play. Even if you got to draft another one late in the career, who cares? Go to your free agency market and grab a veteran. But I would have done that. Another wide receiver I would have traded up for. I wouldn't have traded up for Leggett, so I don't think I could have done that.
You wouldn't have been happy with them taking Leggett where they took Worthy?
I would have been okay with it, but personally, I wouldn't. I don't think any receiver I would have traded up for, to be honest, if it were me, though.
Even if Brian Thomas Jr. fell, that would have been one to think about, but I
I'm
don't know if I
fine
would have
with
done
it,
it.
but I'm just saying, like, I don't even think the Chiefs should have traded up 3 spots to grab anybody, like, in my opinion. But if they felt they had to, then go for it.
It worked out. I mean,
yeah.
the draft was still good.
Second
as a
round.
whole.
Let's talk second round then. Let's say they don't take. Let's say they get the tackle in the first round. Okay, in the second round, you got to have one. I would have been okay with trading up mid second round for like a. Man, that's a good question. We actually talked about Roman Wilson. Would you had to have traded up for Roman Wilson? I don't even know where he went. I think he went round 3.
I don't know. That would have been.
I think the way it played out, man, was about right. I think Brett Veach kind of worked that draft board the best way he could, to be honest.
Yeah,
I honestly think he did a pretty
so.
good job.
Yeah, George, I would have definitely been. If I had to trade up to get him. Yeah, I don't know if they didn't have to. They proved that they could have sit and took him. The only thing I think. The only reason you would have had to trade up to get Leggett would have been if you thought Carolina was going to try to
Carolina
jump
was
you.
probably trying to call up. I'd guarantee it. I bet you they were trying to
Well,
call.
They told him they were taking him at 33. They ended up trading up to 32 to make sure they
Right,
got him.
they got Buffalo. But
yeah.
what's weird is if we would have traded up, would they have still tried to trade up with us? Could we have essentially moved back one spot and got some extra draft capital? That'd have been kind of sick. I don't know. Carlos Fierro says, do the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl if Spags was coordinator when Bob Sutton was yet? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, people don't give Spags enough credit. You have to think, not this last season, but the season before that, you had a big chunk of Chiefs Kingdom that were just completely delusional, talking about firing Spags. And we had to try to talk sense into them. Like, I feel like we did like a video every week being like, what the hell are you talking about trying to fire Spags? He's the best defensive coordinator in the league. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and they're like, oh, we need Vic Fangio. And it's like, he sucks. We don't want Fangio.
Right.
Like, we don't need that. We got Spags. Like, chill. Spags don't get enough credit.
Yeah. Macca says, Mike liked Persall. I really did. But 49ers fans are pissed they took him with their first pick. 49ers
They're
fans are not very
stupid.
smart.
They're dumb. Yeah.
Dude, I think, honestly, with Brock Purdy, I think Ricky Persall's got a good chance of maybe pulling off a Puka Nacua type situation next year. That's a guy that can work the underneath a lot.
If they were to get rid of Ayuk or Debo or something and open up more for him, then definitely.
But either way, he's working that intermediate part of the field. I think Ricky Persall, at minimum right now, has 30-some-odd receptions next year for about 500 to 600 yards. And if he was to push that up to 50 to 60, he could get close to the 800 to 1,000-yard range. I like what Ricky Persall offers. I would have loved to have just taken Ricky at 32, maybe trade back with Carolina. But look, you never know how it's going to work out. If we don't trade up and take Worthy, would maybe the 49ers have taken Worthy, then Persall falls. You know what I mean? So it's so weird. It's woulda, shoulda, couldas back there, but it's wild. I think Brett Veach did a pretty good job. I'm not going to.
We missed this. Flapjack had to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Why has it not been telling us lately, though?
I don't know, but Flapjack with the 2-bomb. He says Spags retires with Andy. Spags' first Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. Dude, Spags is an absolute monster. Spags has 4 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, the guy is a defensive genius. That's all there is to it. Totally agree with you, Flapjack.
Has there really never been a defensive coordinator in the Hall of Fame?
That's pretty crazy.
It says from our count, there are not any pure offensive or defensive coordinators in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, nor does the Hall of Fame consider coordinators. So they don't even consider. I think Spags breaks.
Well, they're
the
gonna
mode.
they're gonna have to consider. Okay.
Does Spags break the mode, and he's the first ever?
Spags has interest in becoming a head coach again. So
in 2 years, he could feasibly try to go head coach again, right? Or do you think he just retires? Wait, how long is he here? How long is he here? It wasn't 2 years. It was longer than that. I've got Kelce on the brain. I think Spags signed, what, 4 or 5?
Yeah,
It's
I
whatever
don't
Andy
remember.
signed, I'm pretty sure.
It's funny because Spags is 64 and he don't look it.
He's
Does
from,
he?
He's from the Northeast,
Isn't
bro.
it crazy that he's just like the same age as Andy, essentially? I think Andy's 65.
He just sat around having New England clam chowder. He don't give a rat's ass.
Guess not.
That's wild.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Brendan Chester asked what age. Yeah. 64 for Spags. That's wild. If I had to guess and I didn't just Google that, I would have thought Spags was in his 50s. Like mid.
Dude.
I don't know. I didn't think he was that old.
I thought Spags was about 29. He's out here just killing it, baby.
Yeah, Sam, he was a head coach with the Rams. It didn't work out for him, but he's shown interest. He said that he was interested in becoming one again. And I think it's kind of a redemption thing, right? Like, it didn't work out the way I wanted to the first time. I could see, like, Matt Nagy, if he started to excel, like, kind of be in the same way. Like, man, I was in such a crap situation and, like, I didn't do what I could have done. Like, they might want to come back and have a little redemption, you know?
Yikes. Would you hire Matt Nagy back?
I'm not saying somebody would, but I mean, let's be honest here. Matt Nagy got a bad rep for what he did, but he went to the worst freaking situation ever. If he was smart, he would have never done it.
Yeah.
It's just like the players. It's just like a player getting in
So,
a bad
like we
situation.
said, is Bieniemy kind of smart for not taking all these head coaching offers? We said that we
what
felt
what
like
head coaching offer?
right, but he
He
was
would have jumped on one, dude.
yeah, he was interviewing.
He
them,
would have
but
humped that bad boy like a
but
little
look,
bitty dog and a teddy bear.
He did what we said he should do: go back to college, prove, and come back up. And I think he'll do that with UCLA. But
Look, I'm just going to say this: I don't think that Eric Bieniemy was head coach material. Something just
bro.
There had to be something there. That many teams didn't interview him and be like, well, he's fat and bald and we don't like him. Like, it's not how that went. Like, there has to be something. Like, none of the players ever liked him. He had rifts with people on the Chiefs. Yes, they talked good about him, but we saw them fight with him on the sidelines. We saw Washington, all the players came out in droves saying, this guy cannot be our head coach. We don't even want him here. Like, no one likes him. There had to be something. There's a disconnect somewhere.
Hey, a little bit of spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler because it never happened, but you remember a couple months ago, I was trying to get somebody on the show. We almost got Eric Bieniemy to come on the show. He almost came on and talked. And
Brad, tell D'Amico Ryans that. Tell Todd Bowles that. Tell everybody else that. It's
I'm not for sure about that one.
100% not that.
But yeah, Bieniemy was supposed to come on the show, but he ended up going to UCLA, and his like media manager guy said he wasn't interested in talking Chiefs ever again. At least for now. Eric Bieniemy. Like, I was talking to his management. I almost lined him up to get him on the show, and then he accepted the UCLA job. And he said he wasn't, he didn't want to rehash like Chiefs and NFL stuff. So that would have been a kind of a cool show. I think our fans would have enjoyed talking to little Eric Bieniemy.
Brad, I didn't even see that part. Sorry.
What are you doing?
But yeah, nothing.
Talking bad. But yeah, man. I think you guys would have had a kick out of talking to Eric Bieniemy a little bit, let him answer some questions. But it was not to
I
be.
don't know.
He went to UCLA. I was gonna hang you out to dry, Steve. I was gonna be like, this guy over here thinks you sucked as a coach.
I didn't think that.
Bieniemy may have fought us through the.
I didn't think that.
Bieniemy may have just watched our show and hated us. Let's be honest.
It's funny because there's lots of things about Bieniemy I liked. I liked that he was like no BS, kind of stern, gets the job done. He's old school, right? But I think to a certain extent there's a way you have to present yourself, and I feel like he created more rift in the locker room than necessary. I really do think that there was something
rifter,
to.
Baby.
I really do think there was something to the argument him and Mahomes had and losing that AFC Championship game.
Stacks, what's up, man? Oh, Jay Brown says Kelce had a fight with EB also, if you call it a fight. I don't remember that. Did it? Kelce?
I mean,
dude,
think
Kelce.
about that.
Is Kelce going to show up to camp this year pissed off like he was last year? He was beating everybody's ass last year.
Yeah, he
was
angry.
punching people in the head.
No, but do you not see that though? The second half of the AFC Championship game, we lost to the Bengals.
Yeah, Tyreek and the whole.
To me, that was the Eric Bieniemy effect. So, like, no matter how good he was, there was always a chance that he was just going to bring your team down so bad because of him acting the way he acted. Like, I feel like there was something to that.
Isn't there a reason though that he was with the Commanders for what, 1 year? Gone,
and they hated him. The players hated him.
We'll see, man. He went back to UCLA. Let's see what he does there. Let's see if he gets another shot. I don't know. I'm not really that invested in Eric
I think he'll be
career.
he'll be a much better college coach. Like, I feel like that style fits better.
I think he should have went back to Colorado years ago before Deion got there. Deion's falling apart, bro. Like, apparently now they're fighting recruits. Him and his son are on Twitter like dogging recruits.
Yeah, they're dumb.
I don't know why they just went that route. Like, you got to be a little better than that, but we'll see, man.
We'll see.
I'm about tired though. I'm about tired, so I think I'm about ready to jump off here.
We'll wrap this bad boy up for the night. We appreciate you guys being here. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't. All you guys that donated and handed out memberships, you guys are the real ones. We appreciate you.
Also,
You're
500
legends.
people watched. Over 500 all night long. Appreciate everybody here that did that. You guys are awesome spending your Saturday with us.
Yeah, if you're on X, hit that repost button. Get this out to more people. That way they can consume a little all chiefed up.
Yeah, that way they'll click it and then we'll get off. And we'll be like, hey,
I can
look.
watch the replay.
Yeah, you're right. I guess so. But yeah, man, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button for us on the way out. And again, appreciate all the donations for my birthday this week. That was sick. We went out and had a little food and this and that. So, brother,
Don't let
treated
him
me to a dinner
don't let him
tonight.
fool you. I paid for it.
Yeah, you paid for it tonight, but it'll all come in time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Wednesday probably we'll be doing. We normally do the Wednesday live stream, so kind of expect that. But then Thursday we'll be doing the members only, and we might do a schedule reveal one as well.
Yes, sir.
So we can do both. We'll double up on
It's a
Thursday.
little busy week. Well, a little busy week.
And of
It'll be
course,
okay.
content coming your way. So keep a lookout. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Go Chiefs.
Heaven's aside from my soul.